AB. The folks love misery. We've had people blowing up the comments for the last 15 minutes while we wait to go live. Still waiting for B-Turn, who should be joining here in a second. He said 5 minutes about 20 minutes ago, so that's B-Turn time for you. But he will be here. He's ready to melt down, as is AB, as you can see with his joyful face. But wow, we have a problem.
Multiple.
Yes, more than one, more than two. But the main topic of conversation is going to be two, and they go very close together. We talked about it last week. I don't know. I know where I'm kind of leaning. Like, this is a game that feels like something. I don't know what you do. Like, this is why we're fans and we're not coaches and we're not involved in anything. But, like, it feels like a game something drastic has to happen.
But
and I don't think it will. It won't. But, like, I don't want JD benched. I don't. I don't know what you do, but I don't want Jeff Grimes to ever call another football game for this team. Like, vibes are ruined. This guy, I don't even know 100% if it's his fault, but I've never seen a program lose so much momentum in a 2-week span. And he's the guy he's the change. Everything else is the same.
It's I don't even know how to respond to that, man. It's frustrating. We talked with Carter, and I think you might have asked if things go wrong, who's going to be to blame. And we kind of said it would be Grimes and JD. We thought it would be JD getting hurt and just the inability to stay healthy being what pissed the fan base off. Never in our wildest dreams did we imagine that it would be him not being good at the sport of football anymore. Not saying he can't get back to what he was. I'm sure he can. Maybe he's just rusty. We're 3 games in. We're a quarter of the way into the season. We're starting the second quarter on Saturday, right before your wedding. That's where we're at right now. And I know it seems like it just started and football's just back. We just had week 1 of the NFL. We're not even week 2 yet. Season's 25% done and vibes are gone. I mean, I can't even look into the camera right now. I just don't have any confidence. And I know it may sound super dramatic after 3 games, but at what point this year have we looked good?
No.
For a 15-minute stretch against Lindenwood, a team that's worse than, by S&P Plus rankings, Emporia fucking State.
Oh. Nick.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick. They've got great fan support out there, Kelly. I'm sure you'll love
it. Do you know how much of a KU football move it is to have the most hyped season in arguably program history? I don't know, a long, long time. The most hyped season.
At least 15 years.
We don't have our stadium. Our coach's wife is tweeting about the fan base. We lose to a bad Illinois team. We lose to UNLV. Our quarterback might suck. Our offensive coordinator might be the worst to ever do it. And we're 3 games in. Like, this is the most KU thing of all time. And how did we not even see it coming? It's like
not even a little bit.
It's like when Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber gets robbed by the little old lady and he didn't even see it coming. How did we not? This is what we do.
Oh,
it's just look at this setup. My God,
he's ready to roll, and we're going to keep it here just so we can see the setup. We got Christian Brown joining the podcast. Sad man, Braden Turner. How we doing, Turn man?
Fucking pissed off. We got 30 seniors that come back from a team that won 9 games. You have all these expectations. Your whole goal is to have this crazy, remarkable season, most anticipated season in school history, they're saying, and they just flat out lay an egg, constantly shoot themselves in the foot. Your whole team can't recover a fumble. It hit everyone's fucking hands on the entire team. You can't pick it up. Someone tries to scoop score.
We needed a touchdown, dude. We needed a touchdown.
Instead of watching after watching 7 of your teammates whiff a fumble, you try to scoop score from 80 yards out. Instead of falling on it, 3rd and goal from the 11, you have him wrapped up in the backfield. Michael Vick, their quarterback, is the most untackleable, it's not even a word, but he's the greatest scrambler in football history, supposedly. Dude, UNLV threw for 80 fucking yards, and they lost that game. 250 yards of total offense. Last week, Illinois, 250 yards of total offense. You put up 17 points, and you put up 20 points. You lose both of those games, giving up 250 yards of offense to teams that you're supposed to dominate already, you're favored against. They're both shit stains. You can't beat either. Illinois' team win total was 4.5. That shit's fucking embarrassing, dude. I don't know if it's Jeff Grimes and JD or it's a combo of both, but I could never have pictured him looking this bad ever.
Yeah.
After watching him as a freshman run around like a psycho because our offensive line sucks, still making plays, playing with confidence, not thinking about anything. Sophomore year, or the year we had TCU game day, he was unbelievable. 25 total touchdowns, 4 picks, completion percentage close to 70. We talked about last year. First 3 games, completion percentage of 75, just firing, playing with confidence. Like, yeah, maybe he's hurt, but to you guys, is he moving differently? Is he
looks awful.
Is he moving slowly? Does he look ginger? Like, does he look hurt? Or is he just not able to make throws anywhere? Because every throw is airmailed. You have Luke Grimm over the middle of the field for a touchdown. He throws it to the fucking stands to the UNLV ball boys on the left sideline. Grimm's fucking wide open. The bubble screens are getting out of hand. Another almost pick 6. 2nd and 1, you have the defense on their heels. You run a fucking bubble screen and lose 6 yards. You scored 3 points in the second half. You have the ball in their territory.
Dude.
17-6. JD, a guy that's been here since 2016, throws a fucking rifle over the middle of the field and it's picked. You're in their territory, points on the board. You give them the ball and that gives them 7 back-to-back weeks. End of the first half, you throw basically a pick 6. This one wasn't. And to top it all off,
oh my God,
the fucking clock expired. They let the clock expire and still scored on your ass.
From the 30.
Was the worst clock management I've ever seen. I was ready to roast the hell out of UNLV, make fun of them because you can't do it worse. And we let it. I don't know if it was us gambling or I think it was Kobe trying to go for a pick, which is
insane.
No time on the clock. There's no time on the clock, but I'm sure he thought somebody would be back there. I don't know, but it was just, I said this to AB before we started recording. There were instances tonight. Like, this wasn't just a bad football team. This was a David Beatty era type football team tonight at times. The fumble, it legitimately looks like our bench cleared. It looks like there's 75 black jerseys standing around that football and not one of them picks it up. That's a David Beatty era type mistake. The end of first half thing that you mentioned is all time, up there with the Montel Cozart accidental spike or whatever. No, the kneel. I can't even remember what he did, but it was a disaster.
He tried to
fumble the snap and then he picked it up on his knee and then tried to
so
somehow didn't overthrow someone by 20 yards on that play.
Not only was the pick terrible, because if you just throw it away or throw it into the ground, you're going into halftime 17-6. But to just sum up how the season's gone so far, why not pick it off, take it all the way to the 30? Somehow the UNLV goes completely brain dead. The clock expires. I'm literally looking up and I see zeros. I'm like, are they serious? He's just wide open. Curls into the end zone. If he goes out of bounds, if someone tackles him, if he trips over his feet, falls short, it's halftime. 0 points, no field goal, nothing. You let him behind you? The pick. That's literally 2 weeks in a row. You lose by 3 and you lose by 6. And to end both halves, you fucking put a bow and ribbon gift wrap. Both teams 7 points. Literally, the pick 6 at Illinois last week is the most disgusting, annoying thing I've ever seen. 2nd and 30 bubble screen to Casey, and then you throw a bubble screen on the opposite side of the field after it just didn't work. It's 3rd down. If you're not going to try to go to the sticks, just fucking run a draw like they did tonight 8 times. It was 3rd and 20. They ran a draw. Yeah, most teams do that when you're backed up, and then you punt it. That was, oh my God. Casey missed the block last week on the bubble screen. And JD, first off, JD knows he doesn't have to throw the bubble screen, right?
No.
If there's a fucking corner right on his hip, you don't have to throw it. Like he doesn't look hurt.
It should have been a pick 6 on that screen.
Yes. KU football does not let shit get out. And somehow camp, I hear from 9,000 people how good JD looked, and they don't want shit like that out. They just don't care for that stuff to get out. That's all people were talking about was how fucking incredible and poised and confident and happy and how crisp he looked. And he has been downright awful. He is not better than Cole Ballard right now. He is not. Like, he is not a better quarterback in game situations than Cole Ballard is right now. And I don't understand it, dude, because these are the worst teams you're going to play all year.
That's the really terrifying part.
Lindenwood, he played 1 half, and yeah, K-State fans were talking shit. He threw a pick, miscommunication with Grimm. But even that half, I didn't think he looked crisp at all. He threw multiple deep balls to Skinner, which is Skinner on the team?
No.
Which, by the way, looking a little rusty in your first game back after missing an entire season's fair. But like AB was saying, we're now 3 games in. You've been practicing for months. I don't know. I'm not ready to bench him because at this point, I still think I think our highest ceiling is still with him.
How long is the leash then? How long is your leash in Morgantown if you go to halftime?
The problem is we have a true freshman and a formerly walk-on. I get it. Like I don't disagree, but it's just like if the options were better, I think it's more of a conversation. They're just really not, and unfortunately, we probably just have to live with it and hope that he finds what he had 2-3 years ago, last year at the beginning of the year, because he doesn't look like the same player. And we mentioned it last week, like maybe playing 12, 15 games over the last 3 years probably fucking sucks for his progression as a player. But like, come on, dude, we've seen him miss. We saw him miss 11 months going into last year, and he looked awesome.
75 completion percentage.
We saw him not play for 8 weeks in 2021 and then come in and beat Texas somehow on the road. Like it's just
the bowl game too, right? Against Arkansas. He hadn't played.
He was sick. He hadn't played at all. He came in and he set bowl records and scored like 7 touchdowns. And it's just he doesn't look confident. It's almost like he's running. He doesn't look like maybe he's physically fine, and maybe mentally I don't think mentally he's there. I mean, that pick he threw on the seam, I was talking to Ryan about it earlier, the seam in the slot. I mean, it was never open. Never for 1 second was that open. It was double covered. They had a safety over the top the entire time. It was never open for 1 second. So I think mentally it's probably a confidence thing, but it also, I think mentally is it's like there's more pressure on him to not get hurt this year because there's not Jason Bean waiting in case he does. So he's like almost playing like he doesn't want to get hurt in a way. And it's like in his head to where he's like, well, if I get hurt, we're fucked. So let me just try and do this. Let me try and do that. He just doesn't look like the same quarterback we've watched for 4 years now.
But he is, speaking of that guy's taking licks. Like he's getting hit.
I was going to say.
I don't know why.
I agree. No, I agree 100% because that like goes against my point the other day when I'm like, are they like calling it conservatively to get to conference play because they know they need Devin Neal and Jaden Daniels to be healthy to have any chance of doing anything? But it's like, even when they're being conservative, it's a quarterback run for 4 yards where he gets hit by 5 guys. So it's like, yeah, maybe they're not showing everything, but they're not doing it to keep guys healthy because they're putting them in danger every single play.
Is it not wild that we literally came into the season and our only worry, all we talked about before every preseason episode was please stay healthy, JD. Literally, was that not our one thing? And why probably maybe you guys, definitely other KU fans, refused to get themselves crazy excited with expectations through the roof. Now, it is. Oh my God.
The problem is, my expectations were through the roof. I finally let myself get so excited for a football team. I was like, there's no way this team is going to be bad. Or not bad. I was like, there's no way this team's going to lose 5 games, 4 games. I thought.
I laughed at over under 8 wins. I was fucking giggling. Giggle factory. 8-4, worst case push. And I mean, I had to drive home. I had plenty of time to think about it. And I didn't want to overreact about benching JD. But one of the questions I asked myself that I was going to ask you guys is what feels like your goal for the rest of the season? I mean, they're 1-2 with 9 games to go. I mean, you got to go. You have to have a winning record in the conference to make a bowl game. And like we said, that's 2 of the worst teams you're going to play. UNLV, I'm not taking any credit away from them. Same with Illinois. But like I said last week, it's completely different if those teams go out there and execute, put up 400 or 500 yards of offense. They're lights out defensively. But it is just almost 100% beating yourselves. These teams are not beating. UNLV threw for 80 yards. Ricky White is one of the most electric receivers in the country. Did not do a thing. These teams aren't doing shit to beat.
Yeah, I know. That's what's brutal is these teams aren't. I mean, UNLV obviously has gotten a lot better, but these teams aren't good. Illinois was certainly not good. And UNLV's quarterback, you joke, but how are we not tackling this guy? It was unbelievable. And I'm not going to say anything bad about the defense because,
no.
This offense is giving them nothing. It's just
the score was 17-16 for 5 hours.
Yeah, I can't put it on the defense when they held them to 5 field goal attempts inside the 20-yard line.
Amazing.
So I got nothing. I know sometimes it's frustrating. Last week, for example, they were great all game, and then they gave up some 3rd and longs, and it was frustrating. But they're the only reason we haven't gotten blown out the last 2 weeks. It's
Anthony Backs.
Yeah.
If I told you, and Ryan, go ahead, answer.
No, just
know what your answer will be, but if we go to the last 2 weeks, keep in mind games were favored by 2 scores and favored by over a field goal. And we go into the games and I say, hey, neither of these teams is going to eclipse 300 yards on offense. And I told you we'd be 0-2. You would beat my ass, block me on everything, cancel me, delete me, block me on your phone, say nasty things.
Mm-hmm.
Like what 250 total yards.
Yeah,
that just tells you KU's beating themselves. 3 points in the second half.
What even has to happen? What has to happen for us to recover? Because obviously you can go in and win next week if you did, but right now it's no shot. How could you ever think this team could win next week?
I'll almost be pissed if they do, because I will tell you, I will be all the way back in, because
that's fine.
You still got the Houston. Well, that's why I said we're playing slapdicks right now and can't beat them. So I can't just fucking rattle off teams that we're gonna smack. Houston, Colorado,
Baylor's real bad.
Baylor. Let's just talk ourselves into Arlington. Come on. They're losing these.
We have time for it. We will do that probably by Wednesday this week.
That is the one spin zone, is that I said it last week. All the goals that they have to accomplish in front of them all rely on them winning the conference. None of that has changed with how these first 3 weeks. Now, the only thing that has changed is all 3 of us have realized that this football team sucks at playing the game of football.
Dude.
So
the side of the ball that's supposed to be good is the one killing us. That is what's pissing me off.
You gotta just fire Jeff Grimes. It's a vibes
you have
move.
To make a
it's a vibes move. It's not a logic.
Happening.
It's not real. It's not going to happen. But sometimes there's
what change do you make in-house?
Ruins the vibes, and he's got to go. And that's Jeff Grimes.
The season started 15 days ago, boys.
They're
not making a big change. We have what we have, and we're going to have to deal with it. But at the end of the day, our best hope for the future of Kansas football is that Penn State sucks this year. They suck in conference play. And Franklin gets fired, and the whole staff gets fired, and old Andy Kotelnicki comes crawling on back to Lawrence, Kansas, and we rebuild with a new roster next year.
Don't do this. This is meltdown show.
No. Wait, is what I'm
best case is Jeff Grimes is our head coach in waiting.
Yes, no. But seriously, Jeff Grimes, I'm kind of convinced that if you just kind of were like, hey man, sorry, not working out, see you later, that vibes would flip like that. He's like the guy that shows up to a house party, everyone's having a great time, vibes are up, Doses and Mimosas is playing, everyone's having a great time, and then he gets there and he starts a fight. He gets in a fight and a party blows up, nobody's having fun anymore. That's what Jeff Grimes is doing to this program right now. You just got to kick the guy out. You got to say see ya. Whether or not.
What did we cry about last week, though? What was the one big complaint with him?
Well, it was the Twitter offensive coordinator saying that Devin Neal needed to get more touches. Well, he got 25 tonight.
Exactly.
The offense still looked like fucking shit.
25 carries for a buck, whatever. I mean, before we keep being negative, that guy, he's one of the best running backs I've ever watched.
So
and I don't care what anyone says. And also, before we keep going on, I have to say this because it's annoying the shit out of me because it's coming back on KU fans, K-State fans, and rival fans that are claiming that we told you JD was never good and he fucking sucks. That's not true, and that couldn't be more than false. I just said the same thing twice. And we got to clip that. That cannot be more than false. And you both know it. Everyone in this room knows it. JD was one. I can't believe I said that.
Not only
hell
can
of
it
a
not
quarterback.
be false, but it also can't be true.
It couldn't be more than false.
Couldn't be more false, and it also couldn't be true, man.
And I know it was only 5 games into the season, but that guy was electric factory the year we hosted TCU in game day. To say he was never a good quarterback and like making it out to think that KU fans are delusional and stupid for thinking so is out of control, because that dude was an absolute baller. I'm not saying his damn career is finished, but he was unbelievable. That dude was on Heisman list before the season. You don't do that without putting something on tape or on the field. But yeah, Devin Neal, and we talked about it, 14 carries last week, which Illinois' running back somehow had more carries than Devin Neal, and he averaged 2 yards a carry.
Well, they had a 10-minute drive.
We're going to give those up.
Also, how the fuck do you lose both of these games? Like, maybe losing one and slipping up, you can live with. Like, I think we were living with the Illinois loss. It sucked. It was annoying. Me and Rye, we both said that. AB, I think you were straight. Like, you were like, there's way bigger goals. I can live with slipping up, shoot yourselves in the foot for one game, but 2 in a row with 96 seniors on your roster it just makes me think maybe no control of the locker room. I'm not saying it's Lance. Maybe there's no way you can make this many mistakes against non-con teams that you're favored against back-to-back weeks. Like I said, one slip up, okay. Back-to-back weeks, you didn't score more than 20 points.
Just undisciplined too. Just making mistakes you can't make. Like the pass interference on the ball that wasn't even close to catchable.
Like stupid or dumb, one of the two. Which one? Both?
Tackled him.
Both. All of the above.
Jermaine Dye's son fucking speared him. Tackled him. The ball was 20 yards
right
short.
Fielder, though.
Was he there?
Dude.
Had to have been, right?
I don't know. Like, how long of a leash does JD have? And
what the fuck is Jermaine Dye doing in 2024 that he couldn't be here?
He was in Lawrence for a game last year before the second one.
Okay.
Whatever. How long is his leash? And did we really screw ourselves? Because there was 2 things. One, you had to worry about injury. 2, I guess you did have to worry about on-field play. Did you really just royally fuck yourselves by not getting a transfer QB with experience? Like, yeah, Ballard and Zeke, we love. Those aren't guys that are going to be thrown in there in Big 12 play, like AB said, in Morgantown and go win you a game. They could, but why didn't you go get an experienced quarterback when you had a guy that hasn't played a full season yet?
Yeah, that to me is the biggest. The answer to me is not Ballard or a freshman. It was, I don't know. Nobody could have ever seen this being the way it goes. Like, if we thought Jalen wasn't going to play this year, we thought it was going to be because he was hurt, not because he just forgot how to be a good quarterback. But yeah, it always was a weird move to not go get a transfer quarterback, I thought.
Did you guys happen to see old Lukey Grimm's stat line tonight?
Didn't see much.
3 catches for 6 yards. Let's not use him first off. Why would you? Especially, you might as well just keep taking shots deep because JD has been insanely accurate throwing deep balls. They're always right near the receiver's vicinity, never 10 yards past him or short of him.
Dude, the
How
most
many balls
maddening
does he
thing
throw
that
in the dirt? Also,
what
just
one of the most annoying things tonight was when the offense started to finally click a little bit in the third quarter, I think, and we get first down. We're inside the 20, and we run a screen.
it
Lost
was
7
about.
yards on 2nd and 1.
We started that drive at the 1 yard line. I said 99-yard drive here. Hawks are back. We're going to Arlington. And I said that's what I was talking about earlier. It was 1st and 10, Devin 9 yards. And I was even sitting there saying, take a shot to the end zone because you got 2 plays. They threw it 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and lost 6. And then you kick a field goal. A touchdown wins that game. Literally 24. It would have been 24-16 at that point. Yeah, screen. They're on their heels. Take a shot, or if you want to, hand it off. Don't throw the ball backwards on 2nd and 1.
There was a point in this game where I looked at my friend and I said, "There's a real shot we're up 31-6," and he had the over. So I was like, "You don't want it to be 31-6 because they're just not going to hit for you." Next thing, it was right before halftime. We're driving. Good night, John Doe. We're driving, and the pick happens. They score, and then we go 3 and out at a half. It's so insane how that game felt like it was blowout city to, oh my God, we're gonna lose, to,
dude,
holy fuck, we actually lost this game. Like rapidly.
They had 3rd and 8 inside the 15, and they ran a QB draw. And I had a feeling they would to make it 4th and short. They only got like 3 yards, so it's 4th and 5. They kicked the field goal. I was like, dude, you cannot run a QB draw just to kick the field goal. You got to go for it.
Yeah,
and
no
so
shit.
I was sitting there like
oh.
we're winning this game. We weren't like dominating. Dev was unbelievable, but once they kicked that field goal, I was like, dude, you cannot do that and beat a pretty good team. Maybe, I don't know if they're good or not, and KU, but after that little scenario, you take a chip shot field goal. It was 14-6, and I was like, we get the ball here, and then we get the ball out of halftime. You might be looking at 28-6, really quick.
Yeah,
and then we scored 3 points.
And it was the same way against Illinois, like similar interceptions too. It was third quarter where we're kind of in control of that game, driving, and JD throws that pick in the second half. Like just,
one other thing we've talked about being just looking like a poorly coached football team. A fucking chop block when it's about to be 4th and 1, dude. Are you serious?
Sprinting up to the offensive line. Like I get maybe trying to go quick, get them off guard, but you need a yard regardless. Just slow down.
But it's also like Jalen's got to get the first on 3rd down too.
Yes.
His awareness is fucking terrible. That's what's pissing me off. Not just the throws. His awareness is so bad. He doesn't know where the sticks are. He can't make any throw. He can't make any throw to the boundary. He can't. If he needs to put touch on a pass, he throws it on a fucking line. If he needs to fit a throw in a window, he lobs it. Every decision is terrible. I don't know what is. That's why, maybe it's on Grimes, but the decision making and the awareness is awful. It's
Dude,
awful.
just him. No, in the third, not getting the first down on the 3rd down was bad, but scrambling on 2nd down, knowing you're not getting a first down, was also extremely bad. We have to waste a timeout. It's just a disaster. Everything. And same with last week's.
Dude,
back-to-back weeks.
You're telling me that they can't go 40 yards and go kick a field goal tonight, down by 3? And I know, like, I already know. Maybe you guys are better fans than me, but I know you guys were not confident going to that drive. Because who could be? After watching last week, he's taking sacks. I mean, even Hail Mary didn't get it off. Did it again. Takes a sack to end the game.
Dude, the game was over when we didn't get that fumble. AB texted me. He texted our group with Alan and James. He said, boys, the Hawks are officially 1-2. And I hadn't even seen the fumble happen yet. And I'm like, what's about to happen here?
You're that behind? I waited a while before I sent that.
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't know.
I felt, I still kept saying if we win, I don't feel great going forward, but just win, please. But I felt some life when they got the personal foul or whatever and made it 1st and goal from the 15. And then
but it wasn't. It wasn't first and goal. It was
Yeah,
first and
dude,
10.
I have no
They just
clue.
fucked it up. They ruined the announcement. The referee said it the wrong way. He said it was first and goal from the 15, and then it wasn't. All of a sudden, it was like because I don't know, Braden, you were there, I assume. So when they had like a long QB run, and I guess that's when they got the first down. But I think everybody in the stadium thought it was like about to be fourth down, and we stopped them and we're getting the ball back, and then we looked and it was like, wait, how is it second down right now?
That was first and goal.
Which one?
Whoa.
Like after the long QB run, I thought it was third and goal from the 12.
No, it was so before the run, it was what, like 2nd and 8 or something, 3rd and 8, something like that.
Yeah, because they screwed up, and they thought it was first and goal from the 15, then ran first down, right?
I don't know. In the stadium,
and then
I have
the refs,
no idea.
And on the TV, the refs were like,
Did he fumble, by the way, at the goal line? I can't see shit, dude. I feel like I'm spoiled.
Those things always confuse me. They didn't blow it dead, or like they let him sit there and try to score, and then once we rip the ball out, they blow it dead.
We're so fucked.
But AB, is that what you thought happened there?
What?
Like they just blew it dead right as he was stripping the ball out?
So again, I was in a weird part of the stadium. I was in one of the end zones, but I was like, I couldn't see the big screen behind me because I was just right up against it. But the other side was the smaller screen, so I didn't really have a good view at replay. First of all, they didn't show many replays on any of the reviews that they had in the game. There were like 4 plays that got reviewed. They didn't show a replay until like after it was called. But I got a lot of text after that happened saying like, if they're going to say that it was a first down, then it has to be a fumble because he was still moving forward. So like I guess you're the one to answer that, Rye. But
that's what I was thinking live, but I'm just an idiot when it comes to that stuff. I'm like, if he's still moving and they haven't, like, I don't know. But I feel like I'm wrong because it didn't seem like the fan base was that outraged by it. I mean, it was very annoying, but
yeah. Can I ask about this? Is like the general vibe with KU Twitter that we got screwed on this? Because in my mind, like I feel like that's the right call. Like if it's a personal foul, they got the first down after the play, they move it back, and then it's like, it resets the whole thing, right?
They got it right. They just didn't get it right until they didn't figure it out until second down, I don't think.
Yeah, that's where it would be. Yeah,
AB,
that's why we were confused, I think, too.
That's why that chop block is so annoying, because that was an automatic first down. That was like the right guard, and I get it. It looked like it was.
But it's also just not something that's really ever called.
And then it's just deflating because it's 4th and 15 guaranteed sack. And somehow in my crazy twisted brain, I told myself that they were going to give us the first down and then just move us 15 yards back. I was thinking of everything it took in the book to win, but it's just like
you thought the run was going to stand.
Well, it was 4th and inches, and he was 10 yards past the first down line by the time he threw the damn flag. So yeah, 4th and 15 was it's just so annoying because 4th and inch, like that's the ball game, 4th and inches right there. And you bring him back 15 yards because of a chop block. Like there's no way.
But again, it's like, it's just undisciplined stuff that I feel like these Lance teams were not doing. And obviously it's easy to say, but it's just complete opposite of what we were used to seeing Leipold teams do. And it is so frustrating that we chose. I can't believe we just lost a football game in a soccer stadium in our most hyped season ever.
Like, what a joke. For 70 passing yards, 7 completions. It's not like they ran wild, 300 rushing yards or something. Dude, like honestly, if we won like 17-16, which it was for 8 hours, I'd be on here fine. 2-1, going to the Big 12 play. Just win one of those last 2.
If we just win at West Virginia, if we win today and we win at West Virginia, we'd have been like, hey, no harm done. We're 3-1. Who cares? But
how do you lose both? Like literally, I don't think you can. I don't think it's physically possible.
Think about the fact that last game there's a ball It's rolling into the end zone. If our guy gets there first and falls on the football first, we score a touchdown and we win the game. Instead, it's a 20-yard gain. It's a touchback. And tonight, we have 35 guys standing around a football. They could have pointed at each other to say, no, you pick it up. You pick it up. None of them could pick it up.
Scoop score.
Those are the two things that if we could just literally pick up a football. Well, the first one was just, that was a coin toss.
Dude, how long was that ball on the ground?
I can't believe it. I can't believe how fast we went from hype preseason top 25 to yakety yak playing behind a video of KU football on Twitter again. Like, we're already being made fun of all over Twitter, and it's perfectly fair. Like, and that's what I was going to say about the K-State fans and other fans. Like, we should get roasted. We will get roasted, and we should just sit back and take it because you couldn't script how embarrassing this is.
And it would be soft. It would be soft of us to like freak out about it. I want to talk. How bad can it get?
Yeah.
Like long term wise, how bad could this be?
Well, there was some tweets that were fired off this week that you can factor into that.
Like, what
and
if we
that was a great performance to.
Yeah.
Our stadium literally isn't standing.
Nope.
Ooh, the thing that is just bothering me the most is how much production we lose. Like, dude, I don't even know. I don't even want to look towards next year.
I think there's a real chance that we go like
we lose 30 seniors, both starting corners, both starting safeties, a lot of offensive linemen, quarterback, both running backs, top 4 wide receivers, Cornell Wheeler, Jeremy Robinson, Lance Leipold. I'm just kidding.
Well,
I love you, Lance.
That's part of the worst case is that we go 4-8 and fan support plummets, and someone like I don't know, Wisconsin is open, or
that is going to be
you know what I mean, like, because it's going to come up again. If there's going to be a job that's going to open, and there's going to be the Bruce Feldman tweet that says that they're interested in Lance, and we're going to go through it every year, good or bad. The scary thing is if we're bad and we have half a stadium built and fan support goes way down, and it's like, what is he sticking around for?
And would it kind of be just an easy out after you do lose all these seniors? I mean, I'm not saying he will. He's so loyal, but God, you lose some stars, and you've already proven you can win here.
Oh my God!
Uh-oh,
guys, I understand melting down. This is so extreme that we have to take a deep breath.
Yeah, this is what we needed.
Someone top that. Someone has to try to top that.
We need to come back to earth now. We needed that. Everyone relax.
I don't like. How did we get worse, man? And that's why it makes me ask about Kotelnicki all game long. You bring back pretty much everyone. You lose Pooney, Booker, our boy Rich Miller, Craig Young,
Reed Adams.
Yeah,
but
how do you get worse?
Why? Like, I remember thinking this in the moment, and I know this goes against my whole take about the college basketball hires of like, don't just hire from within, blah, blah, blah. But I do not understand why we didn't just hire from within for the offensive coordinator job, at least for the, like, I don't know, let these guys that have been doing this together run the exact same playbook and just see what happens. And it could have been a disaster, but what are we going to say? I promise we wouldn't be here saying, God, I wish we would have hired Jeff Grimes. There is no shot. Like, it wasn't that good of a hire. And it's easy to say now, but even in the moment, I was kind of just like, I kind of just wish we'd hire from within and
I think
be good with it.
Honestly, I think a lot of it had to do with the bowl game against UNLV. Kotelnicki was gone, not calling the plays, and Bean threw for 450. I mean, Grimm and Arnold had 150 plus, 3 touchdowns each, and I think we just talked ourselves into the staff figuring it out no matter what, because they've done that everywhere. So just being a fan, I guess, honestly, to where you can talk yourself into certain things. And that's why a lot of people are talking about Coach Z is kind of calling some of the plays in. And I just really don't. The offense looks completely different. Yeah, JD's decision making sucked, but I think that game gave us a lot of, I guess, acceptance about Kotelnicki leaving because our offense. I mean, they were otherworldly in that game. Even with all the penalties, shit getting called back, we scored like 50 points, and that was with the new. That was without AK. So I don't know. Grimes got canned from Baylor. I'm pretty sure. Like that kind of that might have been the red flag right there.
Claim to fame was getting Zach Wilson drafted 2nd overall. So if he can do it with him, how bad's JD?
I told my dad that tonight, and he lost it. He goes, "Zach Wilson fucking sucks. Who cares?" Dude, but
I can picture it. I mean, he sounded exactly like that.
I don't know, dude. Like, what's your confidence level on making a bowl game, and what does that do for you? Obviously, you want to make a bowl. Would be the first time ever making 3 in a row. And I'm sorry we're talking about this, but
it's so funny.
It's so funny that we're sitting here like, I don't even care about a bowl game. Imagine telling ourselves this 3 years ago.
Well, imagine telling us 3 years ago that we would have a team that is getting booed off their home field in week 3 after getting the field stormed on them in week 2. We would have shot each other all in the face at the same time.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think about, man? That Rock Chalk Jayhawk Twitter account is why Lance Leipold is going to stay at Kansas.
Should still probably get a statue if he's here like another 5 years.
Could you like
a reminder? Oklahoma State last year, they went to the Big 12 championship game. They lost to South Alabama 33-7.
I
hung it out there. I'm buying myself back. That comment, that sole comment from twitter.x.com got me fired up and changed my whole mindset toward the rest of the season. I'm glad. I'm mad at him now and not mad at the game. Where I'm ready to go 10-2 and go to Arlington.
My sick mind and brain was just sitting on DraftKings Sportsbook last night, looking at conference winner props, and I was scared, terrified to go to the Big 12 and see what we were at because I hadn't looked. We're sitting at 10-1. Like I got us at 11-1 before the season, like the day of the season. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
Like Vegas still thinks we have a shot. And so I was telling myself, because like, yes, you can't lose to these slapdicks, but if you go, everyone's going to hate me. But if you go 8-1 in the Big 12, you have a chance.
I love it. We're so back.
I was saying last night, but this, I mean, it's an undisciplined football team, and it makes me think some sort of change has to happen on the inside. It is not Lance, obviously. I think it's Grimes, because this happens one more week, your season's over. That sounds dramatic, but all your dreams, aspirations, that's so corny, they're over. If you lose, if you lose to Westfall, yes, it's done, because you are not running the table. You're probably not going to Manhattan wedding. I'm sorry to say that.
Guys, but here's the thing. If we lose to Westfall, we're going live from Ryan's wedding.
If we lose to Westfall, do we get on here and just fire like 3-9 takes?
I was kidding. I'm not.
Imagine telling me that KU would have 3 losses before I get married.
Season's over before you get hitched, dude. Before I do comes out of your mouth. Season's done.
And we were like 4-0. We're gonna be celebrating 4-0 on the dance floor. It's gonna be great. No, 3 losses.
I was already thinking about all of us watching the West Virginia game next weekend and just being fired up if they win. Because we're definitely, if we win that game, I don't care how they've looked the last 2 weeks, we're going to somehow talk ourselves into something. I mean, I'm not saying this team can go to a Big 12 title game and beat like a Utah or a K-State, but as a fan, you're talking yourself into something, winning one of the tougher road games in the league.
K-State's a wagon, by the way, so that's fun.
Well, they looked like shit last week, so let's just...
Well, they looked electric tonight.
Yeah, but football is always more than you're never as good as you look this week. You're never as bad as you look last week.
Also, is the Big 12 kind of stinky? You got Rising with an injury.
He's hurt more than JD. He's a fucking
Oklahoma State's, they started so last year.
He was so disgusted with that Utah quarterback.
Did you see him
That's
give
the
a
most
thumbs?
mad. That's the most mad AB was all night.
Wrong.
I need a rant from you right now. I want to smile. I want to feel something.
Well, I need to go to sleep. I have to work in the morning, so this will be the last thing I say.
What?
What do you mean, Braden? I gotta work. But it's the last weekend at pools. You know, we're back to a
Pools
normal
are open
Monday
on weekends too.
We're back to a Monday through Friday coming up after this weekend, baby. We're so back. But I'll leave you with two things. One, I'm not confident this is going to happen anymore. But we're tied for first place in the Big 12 right now.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Dude, that we've said this.
I'm just
the
saying.
New layout, the new realist, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm having a stroke. The new reality of college football is that nothing matters until conference play. And I tweeted it last week after the game. People got so mad. I said, the good news is this does not have any impact on us making the college football playoff, which I would say obviously it does. But still, we can make college football playoff. And that is...
We control our own destiny, and until we don't...
I'm telling you, fire Jeff Grimes. The vibes.
Are we losing these games on purpose? Then we're just trying to.
No, because that's where my positivity. Anything. That's where my positivity ends. Is we're not a good team.
That's the problem.
Right now.
I feel like at one position. I know we've been very undisciplined, but it feels like it's at one position. I mean,
but it's not like we haven't. Think of our defense, who was great. Like we've said it, but. The fumble, they can't get us. How many 3rd and 9s have they given up the last 2 weeks on like nothing impressive on scrambling missed tackles? And so it's like
QB scrambles.
It is mostly on JD and Grimes and whatever, but the defense is also just they've been solid, but they have not stepped up in the moments they've got to step up, and it's just that's what bad teams do.
I mean, with what we're used to with the offense and how explosive they've been, if you told me they wouldn't score more than 20 points in both of these games, I would just shit my brains out. Like, if you told me we lost to either of these last two teams, I would say they had to score 30 points. They didn't get near that. It was just, it's disgusting. I'm disgusted. I'm pissed off. I have no confidence. I guess, what are some games you guys look at rest of the schedule where you're just like, we are not winning that game? Do you feel that way?
No, I actually think we could still win next weekend. Like, I really do, because we didn't just forget how to be a good football team. We have guys that have won games. They can figure it out. This one is a lot more concerning to me because you would have thought something would have clicked. You would have thought it would have been a wake-up call last week, and it wasn't at all. And by the way, Jeff Grimes, last thing I'll say about the guy, he didn't want to watch Illinois game film. Didn't think they needed to. Thought they needed to watch practice film instead. Good.
I want to watch game film of him getting punched in the fucking face.
He just bothers me, man. Ever since we hired him, the way he looks,
But go up in the booth. Be creative,
like
every other successful offensive coordinator in the world.
That was a major red flag for me. It is such a cool guy move to sit up in the booth, and that's how you knew Kotelnicki was elite. Jeff Grimes just sitting there on the sidelines like a high school coach. No offense to high school coach, but come on, be an adult. Go sit in the booth.
Can we get this foggy scoop on? Can we get the Braden? Is this allowed to be shared? Not that. What the fuck?
Oh, is that from last week?
I don't know if it's allowed to be shared on the airwaves, but I'm curious.
Let me give it a little glance here. You guys talk about.
Well, it's just all I heard all offseason is how everyone's going to be pumped because the offense, specifically the wide receivers, didn't like Kotelnicki's play style, and now it's just I wish we could go back to running the ball 40 times a game.
Dude,
we did tonight too, and that's what's crazy. But it's just our runs, this year, just feels like we have so many plays that get nothing. And I'm not saying we didn't have any with Kotelnicki, but it felt like even our runs were creative to where they weren't just running directly into the line of scrimmage, hoping that your offensive line wins the battle. It was no, we're gonna it's a run play, but it's like almost a pass play concept that we're going to try just to get a guy into open space. Like we don't have it. And I know it's a completely new offense, so I'm not expecting the cool, like run the option, slide back, like throw to, like, I get it. It's not all going to be the same, but it's like, is Grimes the only one with any say on how the offense looks? Like, I feel like Lance and Kotelnick were around each other long enough to where Lance probably has the concepts down. So it's like,
I thought we would have something that looked similar to last year's offense, and it's just not.
So I guess a player was overheard yelling, "Why isn't Z calling the plays?" and on the sideline or in the locker room
today or last week?
I think today. And then I guess Grimes has been in JD's ear calling the reads. He's not letting Jalen throw or run plays that he likes. Z and Kotelnick let JD do his thing. And Grimes has a tight leash. JD is insanely frustrated just with how tight of a ship Grimes is running and not letting him. But then he let him air it out a lot last week.
Yeah, and I was going to say, JD's still throwing.
Foggy's got a petition out there to fire Grimes. It's got 30 signatures.
Wow, that'll do it.
Well, that might get Goff to
even if he's like, I don't know, right, you guys probably talked about it before I got on here about firing Grimes, but even if he's not the full issue, I feel like someone's got to be the scapegoat, and you got to make a change now, because this season is over if they lose next week, and it has to change now. You cannot
That's what I was saying.
This most anticipated season in KU football history. You have Big 12 title aspirations. This season is done. Yeah, like it's done. Unless there's a change made.
Yeah, it's like where it is like, it just sucks that he's only 3 games in, but like this happens all the time in companies. In the real world, something goes wrong. You don't know whose fault it is. Somebody's got to get fired. You've got to answer.
Back next year. It's not like he's going to be back next year.
Yeah.
I two of the best see yas I know. Nothing fires me up like a Ryan see ya. He just stops everything, completely changes up. See ya. And Braden just did the whistle. Like, you guys are good at it. It's great.
I feel like I guess I don't know exactly how frustrated they are with him. But I feel like if you keep letting him call the plays every week, everyone on the offense, they're just going to – I mean, you're going to lose interest. You're going to lose your team. If they're that frustrated with the OC, I mean, think about these guys that are on offense. They were with Kotelnick for multiple years. They're so used to his schemes and the way he ran things. And, yeah, maybe he had an ego, but it worked. And our offense was talked about nationally all year long. Every year he was here.
I want to apologize 1 million times to Andy Kotelnick for ever crying about the sugar huddle. Like, the fact that was my biggest problem with the guy is that he did that on 4th and 1 or whatever all the time. I would do anything to watch us run sugar huddle one more time.
How many apologies do we owe to Mr. Bean? Because my God, I would suck for him right now.
That's hot.
Sorry, I just want to win football games.
I wouldn't. I'm on the same page as you.
Do we win the game without the chop block?
No.
I have no confidence we go down and score now.
Dude, we had just done a failed QB scramble. He then came up short. Like, we'd run 3 run plays.
But Neil got the first down. We needed 20 more yards. We kicked the field goal.
But
that game,
guys, here's the thing. Are we trusting? I don't care who's lining up at place kicker. Are we trusting a KU football player to make a field goal in that situation?
No, in fact, that game had the vibe of a blocked field goal.
Yeah,
we
weren't. If we
like
weren't
one
getting
of those that doesn't even get over the line's head barely.
Rolls the snap to the placeholder.
I do got to go. B-turn, you can probably stay on here and rant all night the way you're locked. By the way, I love you this locked in. I need this type of energy when good things happen, B-turn.
I've been waiting for this for 5.5 years.
This is all I've thought about, dude, for months. Like, it's sad, and I love the Royals, and I love the Chiefs, but I know what I'm getting with the Chiefs. Royals, baseball, Kansas football. I've never wanted one of my teams to win more than I want them to win because of how
It's the
bad the
only
last
team that we
15
root
years
for that
was.
hasn't won.
We got a little taste 2 years ago. We got more of a taste last year. And then you return everyone. You finally get the preseason hype from the media. Like I said, you return everyone. JD, when he plays, we had said it, he's as good as anyone. And they had everyone back. And like, dude, this is all I've been waiting for months. Like, other stuff got me by, but this is what, like, and OU and Texas left the league. We talked about the favorable schedule. It felt like season's not over, obviously, but it just felt like a lot of things were going our way, and you still had Lance, and I just refused to believe that this much would go wrong. Like, obviously some stuff will go wrong, but refused to believe that this much could go wrong and start going 1-2 in non-con. Like, there's just no way.
This is really cruel.
No one could have predicted that.
This was like, I tweeted it during the game. Like, that game was torture. Just every second after that pick in the first half was torture. But just what this season has become is absolute torture. I can't believe that we did this to ourselves. But like I said before you got on, we should have seen it coming. This is what KU football has done for years. And I don't know where we go. I don't know where we go from here.
We go to bed.
That is the first step.
I was thinking something. One more thing. Would you rather get hurt this early in the season and just be done and not have your hopes up? Or would you rather get hurt late?
I'd rather get hurt.
At K-State or Iowa State.
The K-State game last year was the worst I felt about a sporting event since the Chiefs blew a 38-10 lead. And I still look back at that season glowingly.
Because, if I don't know, I guess if you're not a good football team and you just show that 3 games into the season, then you nearly just accept it.
It's also with the expectations were so high that it's like not.
Well,
easy
no, I didn't know if you answered my question. You just said I got hurt.
He's saying he wants us to be good, and even if we lose in horrible fashion late in the year, it's still fun that we had a shot.
Yeah, because you're juiced for the game. You got the full game day experience, the build up, the whole week.
Yeah, I'm realistic, and I think all of us are, that KU football is never in anyone's life going to win a national championship in football. Like, that's not going to happen. So like our goals are smaller things, but it's just like I don't even know where I'm going here. But it's just like I just want to be in it. Like, I'd much rather be 8-4 than 4-8. Like, I know that sounds obvious, but like, yeah, I want to be in it. Like, I'm not really into the Chiefs yet. The Royals, sure, but like they're kind of in a spot where the next few weeks don't really fucking matter at all. They're kind of locked into the same seed. Like,
hey, the good news is we're gonna beat Colorado.
Cool, for our second win of the year.
Yeah,
donors rumbling about firing Jeffrey Grimes.
I'm telling you, it's not normal. You wouldn't do it, but when everything was working and one person comes in and then goes this bad
immediately,
it's just vibes are off. And if players are truly frustrated, like I don't know, you have to do something. I think that, to me, imagine us on Thursday if Grimes is fired, Coach Z's promoted, and like the complete positivity of us would change overnight. We don't even know. We don't know ball. We don't know ball at all. But it would just be a new change, and that's what this team needs. I love saying that.
You sound like yourself.
You don't know ball. I like ball knowers. I'm not one.
Oh man.
Last thing I want to say.
We're like, pardon my take to an interview, guys. We got to do the last thing actually, because I'm about to fall asleep live on air.
I know, but I'm just gonna say this. The black uniform. Are we concerned about the black uniforms? I didn't like wearing them tonight. I thought it was a bad game to wear them. But we've now had, I would argue, the 2 most soul-crushing losses of the Leipold era in the black uniforms.
Yep.
Dude, how sexy are those uniforms? Maybe wear blue pants? I don't know. Dude, it looks dope. Yeah, it looks dope in the video game.
Maybe we're blue pants. All right.
I don't know. Well,
B-turn, you should just stay on a rant all night. See how long you can go.
Oh, I can go pretty long. If anyone has any questions, I'm sitting here. Maybe we could get a guest in here. CB FaceTimed me in the fourth quarter and just was going in on one of our players.
Well, that makes me want to actually end the stream now and hear about it. But if you want to stay on, feel free.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll stay on. You guys can get off. I'll see if there's any questions.
Yeah, I will.
I'm ready to talk about anything.
All right, boys.
See ya.
Love you.
Love you.
I'm still pissed. Yeah, I'm pissed. I don't know if you guys have any questions or any certain players or coaches that you want me to touch on. But good God, the obvious is that no one in the world could have saw this start of the season coming. Like, even the Lindenwood game. I know you're not going to show anything and be vanilla, but didn't walk away feeling great. I know that game's not going to tell you shit, but if you can't score 20 plus on Illinois and UNLV, this is a pretty good question. Over under 5.5 wins. I feel like I'm in full meltdown mode, so you'd get a better answer tomorrow. I still feel like you gotta beat Houston, Colorado. God, I can't even think of the schedule right now. Houston, Colorado, TCU will be a tough game at Westfall, K-State. Dude, that's what kind of I know it's not all about bowling, especially the expectations going into this year, but my first thought leaving the stadium was, are we going to go bowling? And I know that might be an overreaction, but we just talked about it. You played two of the worst teams you're going to play all season, and they're not bad teams, but you got the whole league. Oh, BYU, Arizona State, which Arizona State kind of looks good, which pisses me off. Scadbo or whatever. Dude, I don't know if they're going to go bowling. Because Tempe, even the Arizona State game, even the BYU game in Provo is a tough atmosphere. So, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, someone really plugged in is texting me about donors having conversations and talk about Grimes getting fired. I don't know if Leipold can fire a guy after 3 weeks, but you're not here to be nice. I listened to Lance Leipold at Johnny's Tavern 2 weeks ago say this is the most anticipated football season of the year. If you're going to let it get away before conference play starts, fuck that. I mean, God, how vanilla is the offense? None of it's fun to watch. The play designs are terrible. I thought the one good play design was the screen to Neal, which for some reason we don't think Devin Neal is a good receiving back, which is absurd because when he is in open space, he's one of the shiftiest, most electric running backs I've ever watched. He's very close to becoming the all-time leading rusher at KU. Yeah, dude, I think you just have to make a change in-house now. Because what's the worst thing that's going to happen? The offense isn't going to be, it definitely can't be less dynamic. You definitely can't have less splash plays than you already do. I don't know how much of it's the quarterback. JD absolutely looks uncomfortable. I mean, somehow JD, the only good throws he makes are on the run, running to his left across his body, completing. When he's standing in the pocket taking deep shots, they aren't close. Luke Grimm did not get involved at all tonight. It's the most annoying thing ever. And I'm just annoyed for all the seniors. They came back to do something special. And I know you guys all thought the same. Rival fan bases suck me. I know you don't think the same thing, but they won 9 games last year. And 2 of the 3 games were from playing third string quarterback who might be playing soon. Oh, yeah, Grimm. 3 catches for 6 yards, dude. Like, Quentin Skinner fumbled a reverse against Lindenwood, fumbled. I mean, honestly, Grimes sucked ass last week. Devin Neal had 14 carries. Somehow Caden Fagan, Illinois' starting running back, had more. But honestly, if a play like Quentin Skinner, when he gets that reverse, I mean, dude, that dude might have ran. He might still be running. If something like that happens, KU wins. That's why I'm so pissed. Is because how could you not scathe a win the last 2 weeks? Even playing your C game, these teams suck ass. You can't play your C game, play like shit, and escape with a win against teams that are scoring 20 points and putting up less than 300 yards of offense. There's no way, dude. I mean, I tweeted the screenshot from the UCF, the box score from the UCF game last year. Jason Bean threw the ball 11 times against UCF. KU scored 51 points. I would bet my left testicle that KU would have minimum scored 28 points last week with AK as the OC. Because, first of all, Neal would have had 10 more carries. Second of all, JD would have thrown it 15 less times, which means all 7 picks that he threw don't happen. They threw the ball 11 times against a Big 12 team last year and scored 51 points, 399 rushing yards. Yes, you lose Pooney, you lose Nowitzki, you lose Armage, but you still have a solid offensive line that looks to me is creating holes for the running backs because every running back that touched the ball last week averaged more than 6 a carry. Savion Morrison, 1 carry for 17. Honestly, last week is just ridiculous. Scored 17 points. God, dude. That ain't how to feel going forward. And I don't want to think about next year, but God, they lose so much, dude. Like 30 seniors. They'll have plenty of playing time to sell in the portal, but good God, man. Fucking fuck, man. There's just, I've said it 18 times, but UNLV, go offense, Ricky White, great offensive coordinator. We saw it last year, electric. They put up a shit ton of points and yards against us. If they do that tonight and beat us 42-38, 41-38, whatever, I can live with that. I can't live with giving your defense, who defense is great, secondary is balling. But if you were worried about one side of the ball, it had to be them. Just because you returned everyone on offense besides a couple of linemen, which you still replaced with Logan Brown, Cable Dew as a stud. God, don't even remember what I was saying. For fuck's sake, I'm a mess. KU's a mess. Grimes is the biggest mess. You would have been more worried about the defense. And the defense has not given up 300 yards of offense to anyone yet. They gave up barely over 250 yards of offense to Illinois. Tonight, 260 yards, 80 passing yards from UNLV. If you told me they'd throw for 80 yards, I would put my life on. I think the spread got close to 10 before kickoff. 80 passing yards. He completed 7 passes, dude. That's like Tim Tebow at Arrowhead. Oh, my Lord. And if you say he completed 7 passes, I would think they ran for 700 fucking yards. And they didn't. The only one that was running, what's that? White sack of shit quarterback that ran for 300 yards on us and broke 96 tackles and had 400 yards after contact. God, that guy sucks. I'm having a mental breakdown. I don't know how much these damn non-con games matter or mean. You want to win every game, at least make it to the best bowl possible. But if they can't beat these teams, dude, and it's not just losing to these teams, it's these teams playing like dog shit. These teams not doing anything to beat you. That's what pisses me off. I can live with losing in a shootout. I can't live with pick sixes and the whole stadium touching a fumble with somehow the other team recovering it. I just can't live with losses like that. And even late, we're up 17-16. I'm telling myself, like, dude, even if we win this game, I feel like shit going forward. So it's like, even if we would have won, yeah, you'd be happier, but There's nothing to make me feel amazing about this offense. The defense, all the credit in the world. I mean, fuck, Cornell Wheeler's a monster. And I've never been more confident in a KU football team. And there's no way any of you in this, watching this, in the comments, there's no way anyone in the world ever could have envisioned JD looking like this. Dude, his QBR is 30. Last week and tonight, those 2-minute, 1-minute drills, that's like true freshman quarterback shit. That's like Bryce Young with the Panthers and trying to orchestrate a 1-minute drill. All 5'4" of Bryce Young trying to orchestrate a 1-minute drill. I mean, last week in Illinois, we weren't going to score a touchdown, but dude, first play of the drive, he throws it 4 fucking yards in field with no timeouts. What, we got Foggy? Here's a pen comment from Foggy. Foggy's letting it fly. He don't care. He says Grimes can sack me. From a player, Grimes was given the holy grail of playbooks. He's still fucking it up and making JD uncomfortable. And you can't tell me it doesn't make sense because JD has not looked this bad in his entire career. One, he is making his decision making is the worst I've ever seen it. And I don't know how that just changes overnight. After even last year, he only played 3 games, but 75 completion percentage. The year before, 25 touchdowns compared to 4 picks. Completion percentage up near 70. He is a completely different player and quarterback in this new system under this OC. He has never looked this bad. I don't care. True freshman JD with Anthony Bax playing right guard. That's up for him, the offensive line. He didn't look this bad because he's just out there having fun, making plays, letting it fly. Now he looks, I mean, he looks horrible. I don't even know how to describe how he's looked. I can't burn sources, Foggy says. Yeah, Al. I hope this is Alan, my guy. I said it last week. I tweeted it. You guys can think I'm crazy. We could have ran the ball every single play. I think we could have lined up Devin Neal at Wildcat every single play against Illinois and won. Or just have JD back there hand it off. Have a threat, a QB that is shown before he can make throws to the boundary and make throws downfield. What's the best throw JD's made this year, guys? He threw a bomb to Luke Grimm against Lindenwood. AB could play for Lindenwood, dude. Yes, Miles Kendrick. Dude, tonight. I mean, Illinois is not even any different than tonight. A quarterback that has 2 arms that can take the snap, put it in the running back's belly, or just read a dude. That's how I know JD's uncomfortable. The RPOs, he's keeping when he doesn't need to keep. He's giving when he doesn't need to give. And he's missing guys in the flat with the pass option. That's how I know he's not comfortable at all. And I'm not blaming Grimes for all of his play and his mistakes because, God, he is handing teams points. Pick 6 before half last week was awful, and then somehow it happens again tonight. Yeah, this is honestly a pretty good point, too. And I guess, guys in the chat, you can chime in, but how much have we used the middle of the field on offense through the air? To me, it feels like every pass attempt JD makes, bubble screen, into the flat, deep balls on the sideline, nothing over the middle. Cardell had a couple catches. Casey's barely been involved. That was actually a pretty good play design. There's nothing terrifying about KU's offense right now whatsoever. The play caller sucks ass. Like, he sucks ass, man. He's fucking terrible. That's who you hire, dude? You lose one of the best offensive coordinators in the country. Everyone coming back. I mean, honestly, they were fucking lucky to get everyone to come back. Kobe came back. Melo came back. Devin came back. Don't get me started on Devin. I know he would never say this, or he would never agree with this, but I feel bad for him. And I know he's making money and doing well NIL wise. He doesn't care about that. There's one reason that guy came back to school. One. He's from Lawrence, and he thought this team could do something special. He'd be playing on Sunday for someone. This Sunday. Guarantee it. He came back to win. And that's why shit has to change. In-house. I don't care what it is, dude. Fire anyone. Light some fire under the. I mean, speaking of Dev, I don't know. I just love Dev, but I don't know who was at the game or if you guys were where you were sitting. I had a chance to be down somewhere near the sideline. I don't know how often Devin does this, but Bri tweeted about it. I'd actually love to get Bri in here. So I don't know if you guys saw that. You can go to his Twitter, but Devin Neal gave the offense an ass chewing of the century. I mean, it went on for 5-10 minutes. Ass chewing, going over to put his helmet on the bench, and then just getting right back up and chewing their ass again, and over and over and over. It kept going. And yeah, I think like Skinner's been a non-factor. So maybe his message was going towards, because it felt like maybe Grimes took some shots at Q-Skin in his presser this week, or other guys. I'm not going to sit there and watch film on offensive linemen, but I felt like there were some shots directed at him and JD. And so I think Dev got all those guys circled around and just gave him an ass chewing. And they needed to hear it from one of their guys. Didn't change anything because they proceeded to move the chains 3 times in 1/2 against UNLV, which is pretty fucking spectacular. Team you're favored by 2 scores against. Can't even move the ball. Let's read the drive summary after we went up 17-6. Because I haven't read it, and I'm ready to piss myself off. This would be fun. Field goal. Oh, yeah, that was after the beautiful play design to Dev, the screen across the other side of the field, and then they ended up kicking a 35-yard field goal. After that, they miss a field goal, 50-yarder, which, I mean, I don't know if that ball went 40 yards, but the game's over in my head because I'm an idiot and get ahead of myself, but we're inside the 50 with a minute left. Worst case, you punt it, touchback, who gives a shit? But you throw a pick, they return it all the way to our end and then score with the fucking clock expired. So here's the drive-by-drive summary. 5 plays, 22 yards, interception, minute 14 drive. Coming out of half. Team stacking the box because JD can't make a throw to anyone. And Grimes' play designs fucking stink. So he gets no yards and couldn't get anything going to start the second half. 3 plays, 6 yards out of halftime, minute 26. 2 plays, 0 yards. Interception, 39 seconds. 3 plays, negative 9 yards, a minute 28 seconds. Nice. Sweet. Next drive, instead of negative 9, we got negative 8. 4 plays, -8. That'll play. Next drive started at the 1-yard line. They go all the way to the 25. And this is where the jackass ass clown who got fired from Baylor because they sucked ass and his offense sucked ass. And maybe I'm wrong because the scenario in the game could have played out differently. But they get all the way inside the 25, run it, and they're gassed. We just ran multiple big chunk plays. They're gassed. 1st and 10, 9-yard run with Devin Neal. Pretty good running back, all-time leading rusher in KU history here soon. Decent. 2nd and 1, you have them on their heels. Game's been tied 17-16 for a long time. 2nd and 1, I'm always okay taking a shot. And maybe it's not even a shot, 5-yard, 10-yard out, whatever. Or JD, the play breaks down and he picks it up with his legs. 2nd and 1, I will take a shot all day because you have 2 downs to pick it up. Not rocket science here. He throws a bubble screen, Jeff Grimes. 2nd and 1, defense on their heels. Defense is gassed. A touchdown, like I said, I think puts it away because you go up 8. Defense is balling out. Forces UNLV obviously to score and get a 2-point conversion after. Crowd's buzzing. 2nd and 1, dude. 2nd and 1. Devin Neal just got 9. I'd rather JD take a shotgun snap, play breaks down, and he throws the ball 10 yards into the stands because he has to throw it away. Why are you running a bubble screen, dude? What is best case there on a bubble screen on 2nd and 1 when your offense has been lethargic for over a quarter? Best case, you pick up 3 yards, 1st down. You're running a bubble screen 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Run the ball with Dev or take a shot, like I said. And then 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You're not kicking a field goal there. I'm pretty sure your offensive line can create holes and pick up a yard in a 2-play span. And a touchdown puts it away. Who calls a bubble screen there, dude? That fucking moron. And what happens? 3rd and 5. I don't know the last time JD's made a clutch throw on 3rd down, but I'd love to see it. Even tonight, rolling right, 2nd half. It might have been LJ. Even that one was in the dirt. He threw one to Arnold on the right sideline that was in the dirt. No, he doesn't throw any passes in anyone's chest. And him being uncomfortable makes sense. This is when I knew JD was cooked. And maybe things will change with the new OC. When you come out of halftime, after that blunder before the half, whatever, I wish they could let it go. That's back-to-back weeks that they have just back-to-back weeks. They do that shit before half and then just let it escalate. Just not learn from your mistakes. Keep shooting yourself in the foot. Why not? Let's lose. Coming out of the half, 3rd and 4 to Grimm. I mean, Grimm didn't have anyone 20 yards close to him. Grimm didn't have anyone 20 yards close to him. An easy, simple fucking slant over the middle. That's a 10-yard throw. I'm not saying I could go out there and make these throws. That's not what I'm saying. I'm a fan. It's a fucking 10-yard slant with a guy that you've thrown passes to for 5 years. A guy that was bragging all last week how you guys put in extra work. And not only was it incomplete or did you drop it, it's a fucking 5-yard slant with no one close to him. And it is 5 yards behind him. A 10-yard. That's the most simple throw you can make. Timing slant route to a guy that you have insane chemistry with. I don't think JD's hurt. I really don't. You guys can disagree. I don't think JD is hurt. He looks uncomfortable. So I guess he shows glimpses of having fun because he's on the sideline smiling after throwing picks, which is fucking awesome. He's all gassed up against Illinois when Grimm caught that touchdown. That throw sucked. Grimm had to somehow get 2 feet in. The guy has more turnovers than touchdowns this year. 6 picks in 3 games. That's why I can't put all the blame on Grimes. What was JD doing this offseason? 6 picks in 3 games. He hasn't thrown 6 picks in a season. Yeah, tell me he hasn't played a full season. I don't give a fuck. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't make mistakes like that. And a senior that is trying to go to the league and has aspirations to make the Big 12 title game, there's just no fucking way. I feel like Bri when he did the Will Howard. I don't want to harp on JD, but something is off. I don't know if it's Grimes. But Grimes can't make these throws for him. The throws aren't accurate. They're errant. They're in the stands. He's not aware of where the sticks are. He's getting pelted by defenders when you have to stay healthy. And now, him staying healthy might not even fucking matter. Might not even fucking matter. Our only worry was him staying healthy. We knew he'd ball out. Why give KU good things? KU football. Piss on me. JD transferring after this year. JD technically has a year left. He can come back if he wants. I've heard he is definitely not. But yeah, maybe he does go get a bag somewhere. But I do not think he'll be back at KU. That has nothing to do with the first 3 games either. That was before the season talk. Crazy thing about JD is he is very close to breaking a lot of passing records, or at least passing some guys up at KU. It shows us how good we've been at football. Well, I guess Dev did come back for more than just winning. He's got records to break too. I really am rooting for JD. Hope he can figure things out. I don't want him to go out like this. That was one of my first thoughts leaving the stadium too. I mean, I can't say a bad thing about the guy. I know that probably sounds a little messed up after I've been dogging on his play, but that is one of the most joyful, happy, positive humans you could ever meet in your life. And he's been through a shit ton. Obviously, the stuff at Texas, the shoulder against TCU, rumors about him leaving, never even wavered. Like, that guy could have got millions out of school. So if you don't think he loves KU, I think you are very, very wrong. I'm not backing his play right now, but man, I want him to figure things out. Not only just from a fan perspective, but for JD and him going forward. I mean, you guys might think it's crazy, but this guy's supposed to be an NFL quarterback. He's in mocks this off season. I know it's only September, but this is a guy that people were talking about being one of the most electric, best QBs in the country. We got Derek Miller in the house. Hey, first timer. Was JD's anytime touchdown freer than quick trip air? That's a new line from you guys if you want to steal it from Derek Miller. More free than quick trip air. That's every bet I place. Took Arizona +7 tonight. And over 60 in that game. 2 really good wagers. I think Arizona almost won. I don't know. Airmail, Jeff Grimes, bubble screens. Boy, does he love the bubble screens. How did we not just know after he ran a bubble screen with 350-pound Jared Casey last week on 2nd and 20? I mean, is he doing that on purpose? Or does the guy have dementia? Oh, should I get Brian? I'm going to try to get Brian here. Brian was sitting behind me at the game. Dude, I've never watched a game with him. And he really wasn't that bad, but that guy looked so upset and frustrated that I just wanted to hug the guy. He looked like he was on the verge of tears like I am right now. And it does suck. I'm not saying we deserve it more than anyone, y'all do, but all of us have waited for so long for them to be good, and they have the last 2 years, but this was the most excited and the highest expectations we've had. And for it to start like this, I mean, you would think 2-1 worst. If you told me 2-1 before the year, I'd say yeah. I mean, you got a tough game at a Big Ten in a Big Ten environment, and then UNLV, chance to win the Mountain West, good offensive coordinator, stud skills position players. Like I said, they didn't do shit tonight. Ricky White didn't do anything. The cracker quarterback was running everywhere. Fucking tackle him. Sorry, the defense has been amazing. I love you guys. Tommy Dunn's a monster. Can we get someone? Oh, Vern can't come on. Who else should I get on here? Or are we done melting down? Do I need to be done? I don't really know what else I can. I guess I kind of just keep repeating myself. We can talk about gambling for this weekend, college football and NFL, which it's not like I'm giving you guys winners, but it's fun to discuss them because you never know what's going to happen. They could hit. Oh, yeah. And Derek Miller, by the way, told me to hammer Jalen Daniels anytime touchdown. And I thought Heisman was back on when he ran 2 in early. The second one was fire. He took off. That's why he doesn't look injured. He looks like he's moving fluidly. He looks like, I mean, he's stepping into throws and throwing lasers and bombs. They're just not to the right colored jersey, which you don't want. I just texted Bry, come on the pod. He said, I have nothing, bro. What a sick man. Getting him on. He can suck it. New comments. Broncos Steelers. Yeah, Jared, what is that down to? 36.5? Justin Fields versus Bo Nix. Wearing paper bags to games. God, remember how bad the Lions were? Oh, God. Dude, Mello, that pick was almost ridiculous. Also, I mean, the refs just simply didn't want to explain anything to the crowd for 4 quarters. I'm not blaming anything on the refs, but sitting there not knowing what's going on is not fun. So, like the fumble at the goal line, OJ's pick. Obviously, our sideline is going to be biased, but our sideline was convinced he caught it. And they said confirmed. Didn't see a replay. And obviously, he didn't catch it. But was that enough to be confirmed? And my first thought was, if he does pick that, if it's called a pick on the field, does it stand? Or was he just absolutely out of bounds? Jared, that's funny because didn't the kicker miss it? I thought it was a beautiful way to ice the kicker. And boy, was that kick stinky. Let's get Bry on. Bryce shirtless in bed. I'm hitting him with the "I'd do it for you." He says I can't say. Boy. Yeah, what do you say? Lose to a bunch of slapdicks at home in front of dude. I've never seen a KU football crowd that angry because as bad as we suck, there wasn't really ever moments where you could get angry when we're going 0-12. But my God, the Boo Birds were out. Well deserved. I'm sure most of them were directed at number 6 and whatever the guy's name that's calling plays. I don't even know his name. Jeff Dahmer or something. Isn't our OC's name Jeff Dahmer? All right. What a freak. All right, Bryce coming on. It's going to be low energy, I believe, boys. But I just want to see how he feels about the game because, boy, I know how much he loves KU. I've always known that. I've never questioned that. But the look on his face when you could tell we were going to lose, well, red faced, wanted to punch things. All right. Jeff Dahmer. Fuck the Jeffs. Fuck Jeff Long. Oh no. I don't know if you're getting hope from Bry. But can you guys ask him some questions? Give him something to talk about because that guy can go on rants, dude. He started a Twitter Spaces last night, and voice was completely gone. And next thing you know, he's screaming at NCAA football 25. You're like, well, buddy, might be why your old voice is gone. You're yelling at digital guys. He's a fair child anytime. Actually, dude, I don't know if I can do this. Grimy. Doesn't just the way Jeff Grimes looks tell me it doesn't bother you a little, even before we hired him. I mean, fucking A. Derelict. All right, boys, here's Bry. Dark screen Bry, by the way. He is shirtless in bed. We all wanted to see it. But Bryson, I sat a row in front of you tonight, and I just told the fans I just wanted to hug you because your face was red, and I thought you might shed tears.
I have nothing, man. Like I'm at the point where it's like I just have nothing, and I genuinely have no words for what happened tonight. I have no words for what happened last week. It's just like it's crazy. Like we have lost 2 games and we were so much better than our opponents. Not even funny, man. And that's like I just really don't know what to say.
Dude, that's what if you play your C game against Illinois and UNLV, you at least go 1-1, right?
Yeah.
C game. Like these, I said it. Like if Illinois or UNLV, which UNLV has been explosive in the past, they got a good OC. If Illinois put on a crazy show offensively, put up 400 or 500 total yards, scored 30 points, and we lose in a overtime game or just a shootout, I can live with it. But Illinois or UNLV and Illinois were doing nothing special to beat this KU team. If I told you before the year we started 1-2, and with neither team eclipsed 300 yards of total offense, would you punch me as hard as you did tonight?
Yes, dude. I have a
How?
take. I have a genuine take, B-turn. Like I firmly believe this. Right now, in front of the entire audience, what would you say the odds are that you bang Margot Robbie before you go to bed tonight? Give me a lie. Give me your honest to God betting line on this.
Who thinks of this? That's such. Oh my God.
I say 10 million to 1.
That you would insert.
That you would bang Margot Robbie tonight.
Oh, before I go to bed.
Yes, you.
Oh, is this like a I'm wired
No.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
I'm about to
Wolf
cross.
of Wall Street?
I'm about to cross compare this to something. Just give me the odds that you think of you sleeping with Margot Robbie tonight.
Plus 10 billion?
Okay, plus 10 billion. That is
I know
the
where you're going.
same odds as us not recovering the muffed punt last week and that fumble today. Literally, we outnumbered the other team 45 to 1. We had 45 players on the field compared to their 1, and they got both fumbles, bro.
A touchback. A guy where he tried to fair catch it at the 10. They start at the 20 because they got rewarded for fumbling. We didn't even talk about that tonight.
Dude,
Everyone in the stadium touched that fumble tonight. Why would OJ try to scoop score?
how did we not recover that fucking fumble, bro? That's worse. That's worse than the Rich Miller dropped pick 6. It is. It's genuinely worse.
Circumstance-wise in the team.
Bro, dude, B-turn, we had 45 dudes around the ball. Leipold was closer to the ball than the entire team.
I honestly, I guess I can give Rich a break because it's a defensive player. It's a fastball right at him. Yes, he should have caught it, but dude, the whole team could have fell on it. I don't know. After OJ watched the entire 93-man roster not recover it, and you try to scoop score, it's just all time laughable. Do you did the spaces last night or whatever? And by the way, congrats to you. I think you set a Guinness World Record of most F-bombs dropped in a 10-minute span. So just congrats. Congrats to you. I know it took a lot of hard work and a lot of effort, dedication. But I'm getting texts from people that are plugged in that JD, and yes, he's looked like shit, made bad decisions, but he is incredibly frustrated with Grimes, and Grimes is running a really tight ship. But then I'm getting conflicting reports from people in the comments. I don't know if they know or not that he's not running a tight ship.
Who knows, man? I'll get to the bottom of that stuff tomorrow, man. I honestly,
do you know if JD's happy or like if he feels comfortable or he likes the play calling or the schemes?
Comfortable after tonight. I mean, that much is obvious. I think there's like a lot of things. Like we got him like being a pocket passer. He's never really been a pocket passer. Dude, I think him and Grimes, I think it's become very obvious that him and Grimes aren't necessarily like a great fit. And I mean, I think you just got to make a decision on the back of that. Do you switch quarterbacks? I doubt that. Well, fuck. Like everyone's calling for Ballard. Like, sure, like in theory,
it's going to make us better and help us win games.
I don't think it. Like, I really don't think we're better with Ballard. I really don't. I think it's like I think you saw like an anecdotal evidence about like people also forget Ballard was in for 2.5 quarters against Texas Tech and scored 7 points. So it's like I don't know, like I don't know if I'm gonna say he's better. So it's like maybe you have to make an OC change, maybe you make a play calling change, maybe you move coaches around on who's on the field, who's in the booth.
That's kind of what we've been talking about for like an hour. Is you've heard everyone around Kansas football, Haney, Goff, Leipold say this is the most anticipated season in KU football history. if you get off to this start and the play calling looks like this, like, do you feel like they might be forced, or do you feel like they might have to fire someone in house just to make some sort of change? Because if you lose it, like if you lose at Westfall, and maybe the season already is over, I'm not giving up. But if you lose at Westfall, you got to run the table probably to make the Big 12 title game, and I just don't see it happening. So one more loss, and I feel like you're screwed. So do you make Grimes almost a scapegoat and just be done with him? And
Yeah, I mean that might be the easiest, most appealing option. That's a $500,000. I would assume his buyout. Or no, I think he's getting close to $1 million. I mean, that's probably $1 million, $2 million buyout, bro. Jesus Christ.
what made them hire him, by the way?
I think he was
Did he have ties? Was he having success at Baylor?
well. He had success his first year. They went to the Big 12 title game, but I think they might have won that shit. Actually, to be honest. But I think.
There was that play at the goal line, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think. Yeah, did they go for 2 and do some stupid shit, or did Oklahoma State do that?
I don't remember, but I think Gary Bohannon was playing quarterback for them.
Yeah. I think Baylor won that game. I'm pretty sure. Nonetheless, though, dude, it's just I don't know, man. It is what it is at this point. Like I'm honestly like, I fucking ripped a bong when I got home, bro. So I'm trying to fucking not think about it. By tomorrow, I'll have myself convinced that we can go 8-1 in the conference. It'd be the greatest redemption story in modern sports history.
We said that so nonchalantly.
Nobody's everybody's
bong rips.
As fucking Geno Smith would say, they try to ride me off. I ain't right back though. That's gonna be Daniel Daniels, bro.
Literally though, like the Margot Robbie thing. Those are literally the odds of losing both those games with those two programs playing like absolute shit.
Yes. No.
They completed 7 passes, 80 passing yards. It's not like they ran wild 300 yards.
Dog.
They didn't do shit.
They were ass cheeks, bro.
And I feel bad for Dev. He's so damn good, and he's probably gonna break the record. But fuck, he comes back for this nonsense. Oh, I actually talked about this before you got on. I told them to go look at your Twitter for the fire takes. But the Devin Neal, tell them kind of about his little rant on the sideline. Like, it's kind of hard to describe it to people, but he was getting in their asses.
Dude, yeah, he was fucking hot, man. He was like, we gotta be fucking better. We gotta be fucking better. Yeah, it inspired me. Problem is I ain't out there blocking for him.
Dude, that's kind of when I knew it's they were playing. I know this people probably think it's stupid, but they're playing swag surf, and UNLV's whole team is going nuts, just jumping around, all the momentum, hyped up. KU's sideline didn't move. Like they're just sitting there, no energy, no anything. Like they just don't. I don't know. They don't look like they're having fun to me. There's no, especially from the offensive side of the ball, you don't see any emotion. Defense is flying around. Cornell Wheeler is a monster, by the way. Someone just asked if Deuce Highshaw, if you know anything, is he good to go next week?
Yeah, I know they said he was sick. I don't think that's right. I think he had like a quad or like late week leg injury, and I don't think they expected it to keep him out of the game because I don't like they said they were like they had the flu, they're isolating him. Well, he's like all over the sideline and shit, talking to everybody. And then secondly, like everybody I've talked to said it was a leg injury. So,
God, that sucks because he's had bad injury luck in the past. That Iowa State game, God, that sucks.
Yeah.
What do you think about this pinned comment?
That's a fucking vibe, bro.
Bong rips. I don't know. I guess if you have any more rants or if you have any hot takes about the rest of the season, I know it might not be the time, but if you want to drop any one-liners or anything.
Dude, I wish I genuinely did, bro. Like I wish I had something in me to say, bro, but I'm genuinely speechless. I have like I'm gonna have to rewatch.
You didn't talk much at the game.
Dude, I'm literally gonna have to rewatch that game and figure out what went wrong. That last drive from them, bro, was like 974 plays for 55 yards. I shit you not. I think they
Refs,
gained 150 yards, like going back and forth between penalties, and like then getting the yards back and then getting a penalty and get like, bro, the fact that we had them in third and like 97 from the goal line, and then that quarterback fucking broke 74 tackles was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
dude. So AB and Ryan didn't go, and they were on here telling me that either the chain gang was wrong or whatever. But supposedly, when he had that 3rd and long, he actually ran for a 1st down. So when we thought it was 4th down, it was not 4th down.
Oh Jesus!
Can anyone in the comments confirm that? Who do you hate more, Luke Altmaier or Sluka? I don't know, but they both just combined for about 200 passing yards and beat us. Combined. 60 minutes, 120 minutes of football. God, they fucking suck. Oh, boy. Well, I know for a fact we win in Morgantown next weekend. You're back on the Big 12 title train. So,
Oh, I'll probably be back in the morning.
well, if you are, I need to see it on Twitter, or we can do a podcast.
Bro,
I expected more. You
I'll
know,
7:30 post the Drewski it ain't me meme and be like, what if we win the last 9 games?
he cheated.
They fucking cheated. Oh man.
We stink. Well, we're back to the David Beatty days. Who cares, man? We had fun for a couple of years, you know?
Sports are dumb. Anyone who takes them seriously is a loser.
Kelly Leipold doesn't like either of us.
The good
And
news is,
that,
right? The good news is, ain't nowhere they can go. Ain't nobody hiring them now.
oh my God, bro, you missed an all-timer tonight. We were talking about Leipold and the tweets and all that, and someone got on here and said, Are we sure schools would even take Leipold at this point?
They wouldn't, bro. No shot.
Stop.
People don't realize, like, Leipold's like in the coaching circles, like biggest like negative is that he always loses the big game. Like he is everywhere except when he's in D3. Like when he's at Buffalo, he lost the big game every year. He lost the MAC championship game twice. Like he lost the game to make the MAC championship winner. He always loses the big game.
Uh-oh. I sense a little energy from you.
That's just the truth, bro. That's just the truth.
What about K-State last year? We
Yep.
won that.
Lost.
Is it just sad realizing we're losing to them again because both Avery and DJ are gonna run for 100 each?
Well, here's my take, dude. Maybe I'm good, bro.
What? What's your take?
I said, what if our defense is fucking good? Like, what if we can stop Avery?
Honestly, I don't know if it's a fake. I think our defense is good.
Yeah.
Like our secondaries, our safeties are gas. Obviously, Kobe, Mello. We've been good against the run. That's why I was scared about West Vaugh next week. But I don't know. If we beat West Vaugh, I'm back. And I told AB and Ryan, we just lost these last 2 on purpose just for fun because they don't matter.
Dude, I'm telling you, we got better odds for K to make the playoffs now.
Yes. And I told them I got KU 11-1 to make the playoff the day of that first game. And I looked last night, it was 10-1. I mean, the Big 12's not great. I don't like if some say Cam Rising is out long term, probably not. But who's the best team in the Big 12 besides them?
Unfortunately, probably K-State.
And then who would you say?
Oklahoma State.
That's the thing with them. Is their defense ass cheese?
Yes, that for sure.
Like they should have lost the game by now.
We're all ass cheese.
But then AB made a good point. They lost a terrible non-con game last year and got the Big 12 title game.
Yep. We lost 2. 2's better than 1, baby.
Oh, I thought you were saying last year. We did lose 2.
But all right, bro. I gotta go to bed, man. I'm depressed.
Be back in the morning. We need you.
I'll be back on the train in the morning, dude. You believe it.
All right. Well, Margot Robbie's calling me.
Good luck. The best out there.
Put your clothes on. All right, boys. I don't know what else. Took my Adderall a little too late tonight. And I'm fired up. I wanted to do this after the Illinois game last week, but it was just one loss. And they made mistakes, but they did it again at home on their Leipold with 40 seniors who also they wanted to win the Big 12 title 2 weeks in a row against fucking Jerry's. We did have a good run. Gotta fire him. I don't even care if he's not the main issue. He's got to go. Do something. Tell me that you care about this season still. God. If we win the Big 12, we're coming live on this pod, and every one of you has to be in here. Benjamin, I don't know. My head is all over the place now about it. Someone in the chat said something at the game. The scoreboard was saying 4th down. There was that fumble at the one where our guy took it back, but they blew the whistle dead. I don't know if that was a fumble. Then they got a 15-yard penalty, which I was amped about because they couldn't kick a field goal. They had to get in the end zone, so I was kind of amped about that. And for some reason, I thought it would be 1st and 15. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't, because the game cast is fucking my head up. The comments, what Avian Rice said are messing me up. I have no clue what happened there. Yeah, and also, yeah, it is crazy. Like, we didn't deserve to win, but it's insane how much spotting of football matters. Like, if that dude spots it on the field that far back, I don't know. It's just sports. This won't matter someday. Dude, Grimes has to go. I mean, this offense is the least innovative shit I've ever seen. We went from Kotelnicki running the most beautiful schemes and play design. Oh, it was so fun. The booth, play designs with Casey. Miss you, Andy. God, he got paid. And we undersold losing him so much because we're idiot fans. Clearly one of the best OCs in the country. I don't know if there's anything we could have done to keep him, but fuck, Bry probably could have afforded him. They got a whole new set of chains. Yeah, I mean, the refs, like, it was just weird because, like Bryce said, that last drive felt like it took forever, and the refs were huddling for 5 minutes. Not only did they huddle for 5 minutes, they didn't, and I swear on my life, they didn't say a single word to the crowd after. No one, I mean, 5-minute conference, something had to have been said. Coaches' egos. Yeah, but dude, this season, I mean, this season's done if you keep him as the OC. I mean, it's the biggest season, at least most anticipated, hyped up of Lance's tenure. And this was like favorable schedule, Big 12 title. If you win the Big 12 title, you make the playoff. We're such idiots. So I think you just have to make a change. I don't know who it is, but I mean, the stuff they're doing, something is not right in-house. Like, dude, these guys haven't been doing this for, all these dudes have been here since 2019, 2020. Come on. It's just, they're doing. Yeah, afraid of the crowd. Yeah, they didn't say anything. I'm not saying the rest were the reason at all. We sucked. But it was, you didn't know what was going on. Felt like a jackass. Yeah, dude, that drive took forever. Young dudes enter the portal. I mean, it does scare me. You have to think about it because we did land big recruits and there's no rules anymore, dude. Some of the shit I hear, I mean, I'm not crazy connected, but you just hear stories. Like, it's It's the wild, like they say, it's the wild, wild, what? Like there's everything going on. There's no rules. Like everyone's out here offering bags during the season, whenever. It don't matter. So yeah, these SEC schools can throw whatever. I don't know who would leave, but God, we lose a lot, man. Man, 30 seniors. That's why this hurts. This is supposed to be the year, and we got the schedule to do it. Ooh, what else do we got? We had one change OC. Yeah, Jared. This is kind of what I said earlier. Like the one change was losing AK, and they replaced him with Jeff Grimes, and the offense hasn't eclipsed 20 points the last 2 weeks against not exact world beaters in Illinois and UNLV. So yeah, I mean, all the players have stayed the same. They lost some O linemen, but it's like, is JD getting killed in the backfield? Are guys getting pressure to him every down? Does JD not, or does Dev not have open running lanes all game? JD or Dev makes a lot of that shit happen, but it's not like the O line is getting dominated. They're doing what they want on the ground. So yeah. Scott Fuchs, offensive line coach with the NFL too. Harry Stewart, hopefully he stays. Yes, probably be God, get a lot of reps next year. He'd kind of be crazy not to. He was Devin Deuce. Oh yeah, Scott Fuchs. I guess we'll have to see how the season plays out, but I wouldn't say the offensive line has been a massive issue. I don't know if you guys would disagree. Maybe I'm off there, but obviously we'll see better teams the rest of the year. Honestly, you won't really see that many crazy defenses. So they haven't had an issue running the ball. And JD's had time. He sits back there in the pocket and fucking unloads. I'll tell you that. And it's not close to any of the receivers, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's like 8 things I would complain about before I complain about the offensive line. I don't know. Like, I feel like we would be visibly noticeable if our O line was getting. That's not, I mean, that is absolutely not what's holding the offense back. I can't believe JD's defending this guy. Yeah, flags. That's another thing. No discipline. These guys have been around too long, and they've seen winning to be shooting themselves in the foot this much. I mean, here and there, that's going to happen in football. Penalties, and another thing was just missed tackles on the best quarterback scrambler of all time tonight. God, they just wrapped him up a couple times. That's really the only way their offense went. Was him running his wide ass up the middle. He wasn't completing shit to Ricky White. I mean, obviously he wasn't because he had 7 completions in 60 minutes. 7. Ricky White is a damn good receiver. Jesus Christ. All right. I'm going for another hour after I just saw Ricky White's stat line. Are you Ricky White, 1,500 yards last year. 3 catches for 4 yards tonight. They lost to that team. That's half the completions, pretty much, by the way. 7 completions. He had 3 catches for 4 yards. No one on their team had more than 1 catch other than Ricky White. And Ricky White had 4 receiving yards. Are you fucking kidding me? That's fucking unreal. And none of their running backs had more than 20 rushing yards. Sluka, 19 rushes for 124. Their next leading rusher had 20 rushing yards. They lost to them. Ricky White. If you told me last week Ricky White would have 3 catches for 4 yards, and I'm not kidding when I say this, I would take every dollar to my name. I would donate blood. I would sell everything in my house, have garage sale, sell my car, and put it on KU. Minus what? It got to 7 at one point. I think it got to 10 close to kick. 3 catches for 4 yards. What a fucking joke. Hey, Luke Grimm, 3 catches for 6 yards. Get him involved, Jeff. I mean, Christ. Sluka completed 7 passes. JD completed 12. That ain't much better. 12. 12 for 25. 24. Wow. Like 3 catches. What a slap in the face to the defense the last 2 weeks. It's fucking disrespectful. It's disgraceful. Hold a team to 267 total yards for UNLV. And last week, Illinois, 271 total yards. Not only that, but they had 150 total yards going into the fourth quarter. 80-yard drive and a 42-yard drive. That Illinois team is 130 total yards. That Illinois team sucks fucking ass. I cannot wait to fade them every week. God, they suck, dude. I mean, you're playing back-to-back QBs that couldn't start for Shawnee Mission South back-to-back weeks. Altmaier sucks. Sluka, 70 passing yards. Jerry. You suck, Grimes. Petition, go fucking sign it. He sucks. That told me all I need to know. Ricky White, 3 catches for 4 yards. 250 total yards of offense. 80 yards passing, and you lost at home in front of all your fans that you said weren't supporting enough. Yeah. Get that fucking joke offensive coordinator out. City, dude. What a disgrace. 4-eyed fat fuck. Wow, he sucks, man. Jeff Grimes sucks ass. He's terrible. It's not fucking hard to move the ball against UNLV and Illinois. And you make it look as difficult as possible. Because you had 3 first downs in the entire second half. With Devin Neal, all-time leading rusher in school history, you can't move the chains. How hard is it? You run the ball 3 times and do that with Dev. Fucking jackass. These non-con wouldn't matter if the team's played good. But the fact that this is the product on the field, and this is what you got to look forward to the rest of the year, how do you have confidence? Illinois, UNLV, sure, Houston sucks. Sure, BYU sucks. How do you sit there and say, oh, we're going to line up hat on hat and just dominate and beat this team? I can't even say that about anyone left besides Houston. If we lose to them, just fire everything into the sunset. Because I mean, Christ, that team is just all-time bad. Maybe that'll be our second win of the year. 2-10. Not bad. Yep. I just making a change makes sense, but is it really going to benefit us end of the day? From a winning football game standpoint, you know what I'm saying? But I think the one thing it can light a fire under JD's ass. But how has it that not happened after all the shit people have said about him for the last 2 years? Injury prone, not going to make it to the league. All that shit everyone said, and that's not going to light a fire under your ass. I don't know if getting benched. Maybe he's too nice. I don't know. But God, he's a hell of a guy. Give him that. Definitely cope, but I think the talent didn't just disappear. Is it good that they didn't win tonight so that it's like we really got a problem before? Yeah, that's kind of what I said about last week, the Illinois game. I almost thought, well, I talked myself into it being a good thing because they would learn. And someone texted me during the week that the offensive lineman had a really good discussion with Jeff Grimes about just running the football in general. Everyone knew that was ridiculous in Champaign, but just the running schemes. So yeah, I thought it would be fixed, and you kind of came out. The offense kind of came out ready to go. JD had those 2 rushing touchdowns early, and then yeah, just pretty much a goose egg after that last pick in the first half. So yeah, I said it. Their top 4 receivers returned. Their top 2 running backs returned. Their most talented quarterback returned. Their O tackles are pretty good. Brown and Cable do. We lost Fairchild. But yeah, you literally like Arnold, Skinner, Graham. And then I know Trevor Wilson has pissed us off here and there, but that's another senior that's been around. Those are our top 4. They all came back. They're leaving after this year, and then Deuce and Devin came back. I shot Neil. I don't think it would be this much of a drop off. You can't score 20 plus points in a college football game. There's no like there's just no way. You know how easy it is to move the ball on college ranks. Haven't eclipsed 20 points these last 2 weeks. All you needed was 24 points in one of the games. Defense gave up 23 points, dude. Less than 300 yards. Christ. Like 400 yards rushing alone in a game last year. A Big 12 game, UCF. You have an OC that doesn't understand when something is working and something's not. That is a major red flag. Hey, we're getting 8 a pop on the ground. Fuck that. Our QB is throwing balls into the stands. Let's keep firing. Let him fire. 32 pass attempts last weekend. Yeah. Fucking odds on team reviewing game film, maybe practice film. They need to practice harder. If they practiced harder, Jeff Grimes would put them in better situations to succeed. He would scheme them open better because they just practiced harder. So his play calling would therefore drastically change, and his schemes and his concepts would start to develop because he notices his players care now. So now that his players care, the play calling's different. They start moving the ball, and he starts having a dynamic, explosive offense because the guys are practicing. That's how it changes. There's a petition going around to get Jeff Grimes fired. I'm not one to sit here and cheer for someone to lose their job, but you're getting paid plenty to do it, and you are failing. And you have say whatever you want about JD, and I have been way too mean tonight about him. I apologize. I'm pissed, but he still is up near the top 5 in every passing category in KU history. Chose to stick around, and you, according to people, are the single fucking reason that he is uncomfortable. You, Jeff Grimes. You fucking ugly hag. Good job, Jeff. Practice film. Yeah, practice film. I think West Virginia is in trouble if we watch more practice film. Maybe they didn't watch enough. Line next week against West Va. Okay. Plus money. Oh, absolutely plus money. Hey, I guess I can't say that for sure yet because I guess West Virginia, some don't want it to happen, but some major injuries, or they could come out unscathed against Pitt tomorrow. But at West Va, fully healthy, they'll definitely be favored. And I haven't liked that matchup all off season, still don't, because I think their strength is running it. Garrett Green can run it. Their O line's pretty good. We're not bad stopping the run, but obviously our strength is the secondary. And then what we do, or the only thing we can do right now is run the ball. And I guess West Falls secondary has been putrid so far, at least from a grading standpoint. And we can't pass the ball. So I'm nervous about getting the ground game established, and I'm nervous about them being able to chew clock and run it against us. So that, not even because the last 2 weeks have sucked, and being negative, I haven't liked that game for a while. It's in Morgantown too. Weird ass travel. Other than that, Big 12 schedule is it's perfect. Houston, TCU solid, but Colorado, boy, are they a clown show. Iowa State will be tough. This is what it feels like to be an Iowa fan. I was thinking about that. Thinking about them the other day. Win 9 games every year. And what a fire for Reds. Yeah, don't play Utah or Arizona. Arizona looked good tonight. Shit. Who else? Oh yeah, we avoid Oklahoma State. I'm not even trying to talk you guys back into it. It's just the schedule. It's money for us. Really, they just find a way to win. That's really what pisses me off about the last 2 weeks is could have skated by winning those games. Those teams played like dog shit. We didn't even need to play well. We needed to just not make mistakes. That's literally what it is. Mistake-free football. How does JD go from being a prolific passer to an anemic one? That's kind of where I'm at. Grimes isn't making throws. Maybe he's not doing a good job of scheming guys open, and people are saying Grimes is telling JD where to go before the play. If that's true, okay, fuck that. But that doesn't change the decision making. The decision making has costed them not only points on offense, but even worse, handing the other team points. Last week, sure, we might not have scored before half, but that was 7 walk-in points. And yeah, Casey missed the block. He doesn't have to throw the ball. And Skinner even jumped for it. That pass was 5 feet, and he still threw it too high. And then tonight, just throws a BB right at the guy. Triple coverage, safety over the top, doesn't see him. Takes it all the way to 30. Incomplete pass, you punt it. Who gives a shit? Doing halftime up 17-6 with the ball coming out. Chance to go up 24-6. Instead, that's in the back of your mind of what happened last week. Confidence is shot again. Sure, the offense and Grimes and them are Baker and whatever. Got a fire. We'll see you. Oh, fuck. Ooh. JD staring. Yeah, he has had an issue with that this year, 3 games in. I mean, it is snap and just stare. Like, dude, look off. Just did it once. Just look off your guy. Go the other way. But he's literally catching it and just staring. It was like kind of what Bean would do. I mean, I'm not talking shit on Bean, but Bean was kind of first progression a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it would make sense if Grimes is telling him where to go. I mean, does JD have enough power to kind of override that? And that just seems crazy to me. Like an OC is telling an established college football quarterback where to throw it to every play. That's what people are saying, though. So I'm finding out more tomorrow because this is fucking ridiculous. And I just don't want to watch. Like, when we lost to Illinois, Dramatic Ass was saying, like, I'm not going to the game next week. I'm not watching this, dude. Call plays. But I've sat through way worse and thought it would change. And I ain't watching this shit if he's sticking around. Like, I'm gonna pay attention, but I'm not gonna get myself invested and have my hopes up, basically, if Grimes is calling the plays. Terrible. Yeah, God, Lawrence. Yeah, he was wide open. Yeah, I will. I don't know what. I mean, they're so tight-lipped that it's annoying. It's fine. Most big programs are like that. So it's tough to find stuff out. But dude, I can't watch this clown. There's got to be something behind JD playing like this. I mean, this is Dane, Chris, Jake Heap stuff, and JD is the best QB I've watched at Kansas besides Todd. Whittemore was a gangster too, and Carter. But dude, guys, I mean, JD was like a nationally hyped guy. Like, this ain't JD. There's no way this is him. And it doesn't look like he lost his confidence because if anything, he's gained it. He's just fucking firing into tight windows and he's letting it loose. He's throwing bombs every game. I mean, at Lindenwood, he was throwing deep shots to Skinner, Grimm, LJ. Illinois, same thing. With 2nd and 3 through 2 straight. Like, he's letting it loose. It's probably been a bad thing, but that doesn't make me think the confidence is gone. And the way he's moving and the overthrow, like, he's overthrowing guys by 10 yards. So does that mean that people think his arm's dead because he's not making there's throws he can't make to the boundary? He's throwing behind guys on slants. But he's overthrowing guys by 10 yards. Does that mean his arm's dead? Or he's just somehow not accurate anymore? Maybe he didn't do anything this offseason. I don't even know. They said he was ridiculous at camp. I know that doesn't mean much to some, but they don't. AU football doesn't let stuff out like that. They don't want people knowing. They probably want people to think JD's hurt. And it was just rave reviews. Like, he looks ridiculous. He looks. Put Marshall in. They're probably trying to redshirt him, but because he did not count, well, I guess he could play multiple games now in redshirt, but he didn't come in Lindenwood. They brought in Mikey Pauley. They love Zeke. Ooh. Zeke might just have to be the starter next year. Yeah, seeing Marshall this year might be a bad thing. As crazy as that sounds. Well, that's the thing. You can play 4 games, so maybe get some action in a blowout when we beat K-State 63-0. But that would probably him playing major reps or him seeing major reps, major snaps, probably mean injury. But thinking worst case here, if you're sitting, I can't believe this. If you're sitting 3-7 at one point, something like that, you can't make a bowl. I'm just saying, talking out loud. Maybe you play him the last couple games, get him some live game reps, mold him for next year. I mean, I would like a Zeke Marshall going into next year with game reps against Big 12 teams. KC Sports Fanatic, KU radio announcer was calling for Ballard tonight. I did hear about that. And I don't know if you know, but I would love to hear what was said and who said it. Because I was kind of shocked at who I heard said it. And so I don't know if that's true, but kind of wanted to hit him up since because it didn't seem right. Yeah. Wow. Bad take meaning Benjamin, just curious. Yeah, that's who I heard said it. Can you guys kind of like put into context what was said exactly? Like, was it more so maybe they should think about making a change, or was it more so they need to make a change? Man, that's really, really hard to believe. But yeah, I mean, no, that's yeah. I saw a tweet that said KU Radio was just mentioning stuff about potentially JD sitting, which, to be fair, there has to be a huge majority of people that were at least asking, right, about JD. Like, you're not sitting there, you're not gonna not sit there and watch JD play how he's played the last 2 weeks and be like, because even think about us talking earlier about the last drive and how I mean, I had zero confidence. Maybe field goal attempt. That's the point we've gotten to with JD. So you're telling me a majority of the fans, it hasn't even crossed their minds that he might get benched for a series? I don't know. Wow. That is pretty wild. Yeah. So that kind of just answers my question. Crowd was chanting, "We want Ballard." Like I said, I don't know what it's going to take to get JD fired up, but it might just be a scheme OC thing. And if it is, it better change this week or this season is over. Like, it literally. Not even trying to sound spoiled. If they make a bowl game, that's awesome. But what they want to accomplish and what they want to get done, it's over. If that doesn't change this week. Yeah. God, that is so hard to believe because so many people in that broadcasting room. I mean, they just adore JD and talked about how amazing he was at camp, and which that doesn't have to do with his play these last few weeks. But I wouldn't think like fans were thinking it. I wouldn't think they'd say it on air. I honestly don't really blame them. If he says it, might be time to worry because he's pretty smart and biggest KU homer in the world, and you guys can't find anyone else. Maybe David. Everyone JD towards Texas. Man, Kobe had the pick six. I remember literally texting Brent Dearman during that when because Brent got Kobe to KU. He had the pick six. God, I loved that guy. Yeah, man, I'm pretty nervous about attendance. I mean, honestly, boys, let's just say they lose to West Virginia Saturday. What's that attendance going to look like for the TCU game at Arrowhead, 80,000 person stadium? And KU's admin has had their worries about the TCU and Houston games just because obviously there's not people traveling. Probably not as many people traveling in for those games. It's just not a huge draw. Dude, if we're how is this possible? If we're 1-3, dude, how many people go to that game? Because then you're thinking Big 12's over. Anyways, you lose to West Fall. TCU is a huge attraction. I'm sure they play in the national title game. Lost by 100, but maybe a 20,000. Yeah, dude. I there's like nothing I can say or even put into words to how much we just, I guess, undersold Kotal Nikki leaving. And it makes sense because we're fans. Lance has won everywhere. He's shown he can make adjustments on the fly. We balled out in the bowl game without Kotal Nikki. And sure, he had his flaws. Who doesn't? We did not realize how big of an impact. Dude, that dude is unbelievable offensive coordinator. Like Penn State will make the playoff, I'm sure. Allard, I don't think Allard's really that good. I really wonder what they do with Grimes. I wonder hiring Jeff Grimes to be the OC this year. I can't really track Lance's entire track record and who he's hired, but I wonder if it ends up being like the most regrettable thing he's done. Because honestly, you're not replacing AK. You're not going to get what you got from AK. They probably accepted that right away. But you can try to do a damn good job to replace some of it and have a huge search and interview a bunch of people. And dude, that is like with what you had coming back, Jalen Daniels, Devin Neal, Deuce, Q Skin, LJ, Grim. That is a huge hire. Like you got to do your due diligence there. Like this could be the season-defining hire. Jeff Grimes. Lance, my God, that's a hell of a football coach. But I just wonder if that'll end up being one of his bigger regrets. He ain't gonna be perfect. Yeah, dude, Benjamin, I said it earlier. Royals, Chiefs, I'm all KC. But there's just nothing I want. I mean, and KU basketball too. Like I'm obsessed, but I know Bill Self will most of the time have the team where he wants them. By March, he'll get them a good seed in the tournament. Chiefs, I know they'll win 11, 12 games, get in the playoffs. Cade football, God, I want them to do well more than any team. So all the shit we've got. Yeah, I think Kobe kind of got burned a couple times, but made up for it. But Ricky White, 1,500 receiving yards last year. He had 3 catches for 4 yards, and no one else on the entire team had more than 1 catch. UNLV. 7 completions. JD, you had 12, almost doubled it. Gunslinger. Mellow Dawson's unreal. Dude, and if anyone says anything, they won't. If anyone says anything bad about the defense the last 2 weeks, they can go fly a kite. And you clearly don't know ball whatsoever because, yeah, they gave up drives to Illinois. Okay. You expect an offense not to put a drive together the entire game? They even held them to 3 late. Okay, you had the ball. If you ain't scoring 20 points, you ain't beating anyone. No, I'm just, people said shit about defense missing tackles, and I get it. And not recovering the fumble, that sucks. But it's not for lack of effort. Those dudes are flying around. Dude, the last 2 weeks, they've given the offense every opportunity to win both games. I mean, more than that. Yep. Zachary Franklin, I mean, dude, he made some crazy catches last week. Pat Bryant's good too. That plays Central Michigan tomorrow. I'm interested to see. Illinois has Nebraska next weekend too. I'm interested to see them mellow. God, him and Kobe probably get drafted, dude. Be nice. I know things don't seem great now, but we've had some draft picks lately and some guys doing stuff in the league. Tom Pony the other night. We'll get Neal, Kobe, maybe Mello. Nice recruiting tool. We're in a lot better spot than we were when Mr. Less don't know what's going on Miles left. Yeah, dude. 3 senior receivers that have produced. I don't know. Dude, I don't know what's going on with Q Skin. Man, he's made some crazy catches in his KU career. I mean, we obviously all know he's a burner. Tall, lengthy receiver. I had high hopes. It's early in the season, but I mean, the fumble last week in Champaign is just, dude, what are you doing? No one's locked in, dude. I'm telling you, Yeah. Q Skin. I don't think he had a target tonight. Maybe he did. He didn't have a catch. Q Skin, 4 catches, 67 yards in 3 games. Not bad. 20 yards a game. About a little over a catch a game. More fumbles than touchdowns. They don't want to play for that dork. Yeah, I probably got on and said, I don't know what to say. That's pretty rare for that guy. When this happened to Mangino, he took over working the offense. Not saying that it's good. Dude, John, they got to do something. They've been harping how important this season is. They've been harping how important attendance is. Done pretty well so far there. So I need to see change if they want that. I mean, that's fair. Like, sure, our fans could be better. Also, they're pretty scarred since Mangino left. Worst program in the country. So yeah, I bitch about attendance my fair share. I don't know why I do it sometimes. But you gotta sit back and realize people don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on a Saturday. They got shit to do with their families. And yes, they've won. I've said it, no coach could turn around KU the way Lance did. But some of our fans probably need more than a couple of winning seasons to immediately just drop everything and go to every game. Season tickets didn't go up much. Well, I guess they need more. I don't know. Like, so yeah, you got to show me change this year. Because if not, I don't know how serious you are about the goals you had. And that's all Big 12 title. Make the Big 12 title game. Because the players, the coaches, they truly believe they can beat anyone in the league. And why not? OU, Texas are gone. Utah, no rising. K-State looked pretty damn good tonight. Should have beat him last year. Maybe Cole Ballard is the answer. He almost beat the Cats. That's another thing about why losing these games sucks, because I mean, there's so many more fans locked in and invested than there were, but this isn't necessarily going to turn them on. So yeah, losing these games turn people away. Attendance can be whack. And then what momentum do you have going into next year? Because you lose so much too. So yeah, losing that's one of the worst things for me, because I want these players that have stuck around deserve the attendance, and they deserve an OC that doesn't have his head so far shoved up his ass. That sucks, dude. Well, we tried to spin zone it earlier. You ain't getting an at-large in the playoff. To me, I don't see why they can't be in all of these games the rest of the way. Sure, that's crazy. Best team we play is K-State. So you should be in the games. If you don't make those mistakes, you lock in. And a senior-led team doesn't shoot themselves in the foot. Why can't you rattle off some Big 12 games? Are they going to get blown out? don't know. How much better are the Houstons and the Colorados and the TCUs than these jackass teams we played the last 2 weeks? And we just beat ourselves. So why can't we be in these games? KU has to change now. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, Sean. They lost to who was it, boys? I don't know, but all I remember is K-State went to Stillwater on a weird Friday night. Oklahoma somehow escaped. The next Saturday, we go in there. Jason Bean throws for 644 yards in the first half, 4 touchdowns, and then offense was just cooked in the second half. So I don't know how they won both those, but yeah, made it the Big 12 title. I mean, just to have all the fans there in Arlington together and be in that game. I'm not guaranteeing they win it, but fuck, how fun would that be? Yeah, South Alabama. Yeah, they got dick slapped. Dude, yeah, to Town Hawk. I remember I'm a pretty big message board guy, so I somehow see a lot of shit or something gets sent to me randomly. And there was like a legit Oklahoma State booster or like respected poster that was saying that like the team is quitting on gun. Like they were, a bunch of players were about to leave, and Gundy, no one wanted to play for Gundy. And I was telling people that. I was like, dude, Oklahoma State's done. We'll beat them. Like they don't even care. They end up beating Oklahoma at home. They beat us. They beat K State. Go to the Big 12 title game. Ollie Gordon. Just like freaking psycho. How does everything always go Kansas State's way? I don't know if they would agree with that. I can't say much schedule wise because ours is a blessing, but oof, they have a nicely laid out Big 12 schedule. And the best teams they're going to play, Oklahoma State and KU. Is KU good? Both at home and then at Iowa State. Other than that, if K-State stays healthy, I don't see how they're not in Arlington. I don't know. Maybe Avery has a tough game throwing it. He's insanely talented, but yeah, that schedule's nice. Yeah, tell me how much sense that makes. KU or K-State loses Klein. They bring a quarterback. Sure, I mean, his first year as a starter, and he hasn't necessarily been a world beater throwing the ball. And yeah, they're scoring points on Tulane. Tonight they had their way with Arizona. Arizona's ranked. Fafita at QB. McMillan at wideout. Pretty damn good team. They just fucking waxed them, dude. That's not even a Big 12 game, by the way. It's wild. Non-con game. Jesus. 3 hours of this. My life is elite. Yeah. I'm seeing enough texts coming through from people that I trust that so much of the responsibility is on Grimes from players. That tells me enough. JD looks the worst he's ever looked in his career. Yeah, I've seen enough. Well, boys, I don't know what else to talk about. I will be up. Oh, God. I will probably be up until at least 5 a.m. I'm going to be at 6, looking at college football lines. I need to go do that. I got to make some money tomorrow, boys. What do you say? Under in the KU game tonight. Just had a weird feeling that the play calling would be weird from Kansas. Some dickbag calling plays. Just had an inkling, I guess. What a loser, man. Yeah, to town. We talked about this. They coming out of halftime. I mean, they really just stacked the box. Dev somehow got loose a couple times, but yeah, he had no chance. And he's always a guy that he'll lose 3-4 yards. It'll look like he lost 3-4, turn it in, bounce it to 2-3, positive gain. So yeah, I mean, going into half, I mean, what throws did JD make in the first half? He ran, he had 2 rushing touchdowns. He's not beating you with his arm. And you're not going to sit there and let Devin Neal just beat you. I mean, he's still good. He's not good, but stack the box. We ain't beating anyone downfield. Yeah, this is my issue with Grimes. There's no in-game adjustments, nothing. No changes on the line, nothing. He doesn't know how. God, fucking hurts. No adjustments. Nothing. Like he can't. Just getting outcoached, outclassed. Maybe, just maybe, there's a reason he got fired from Baylor. But part of me thinks there's no way Lance and those guys would hire him if he was this clueless. Because they are way too in touch and way too smart to let something like this affect the season. The biggest season. Yeah, dude. I don't know how, you know? It's like they know it's coming. It's so crazy. They know that damn bubble screen's coming. I don't know how. But god dang. When JD lets go of it, somehow there's a D back right on the wide receiver's hip. Fucking mystery. Fucking expand your playbook, dude. Adjust with the times. Yeah. We could have had anyone at wide out. That's another thing. I don't think he's scheming anyone open. Like, sure, JD's missing open throws here and there. But there's just, it's such a dense play. It's just, it's not fun to watch. How many times has the offense even got in a rhythm this year? Tonight, maybe when they had that 99-yard, they started at the 1 or 2, and then 2nd and 1, bubble screen. So, dude, they just don't get in a rhythm. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. I sound spoiled, but dude, the offense. I mean, they have way too many studs to be doing this. Man, Jeff Grimes. He stinks, doesn't he? Anything else, boys? KU basketball, Chiefs, Royals, recruiting, games at Arrowhead, where we're all sitting in Arlington for the Big 12 title. Royals playoff bound. Sucks tonight. I wasn't locked in, but we whooped their ass. Minnesota lost. Kind of salty we didn't take 2 of 3 for New York. I know they're good, but you had to lead late twice. Because, God, if we win that third one in New York, boys, we are 2 games back in the Central right now. If they won one of those. And they should have won that last game, 4-gamer in Cleveland. They should have swept their ass. And we have the tiebreaker over Cleveland. So if you're 2 back, you're basically, I mean, you tie end of the year, you win the division. And then you get a bye. Don't play the wild card round right now. Whew. Jesus, 5-game lead, playoff spot. We'd be playing in Baltimore for 3, best of 3. I think I'm going to go wherever we go. I almost got killed in Baltimore at the AFC Championship game. Now you guys get to listen to me talk about Jeff Grimes. Fucking idiots. Yeah. Yeah, that was Freddie, I believe. I thought he got kind of hosed on a high strike, but yeah, he's been slumping, dude. Honestly, it's tough to be mad at Bobby, but Bobby, Freddie, and MJ kind of been slumping. Not kind of for MJ. We need protection behind Salvi in the lineup. KU basketball, mid-season meltdown. God, they should be really good. Yep. Devin, longest completion of the night. And very weird, but it was a creative play design. Look what happens when you do that. Maybe when your quarterback can't make throws and isn't comfortable, maybe do something innovative. Switch it up. Run a halfback pass. Or just let him fail, put him in shitty spots to succeed. Tell him who to throw it to every play. That's what you do to a senior quarterback. Yeah, we're not catching Cleveland. Not enough games left. I don't think. What do we got? 14 games left. 3 back. 10-4 Royals. They do play Minnesota for 3, but in Baltimore in the last series of the year. But God, Minnesota looks like ass right now, dude. Kevin's first catch of the season. It's so funny. I was talking to one of his family members like a month ago. We were talking about Devin coming out of high school, how it was almost a selling point to college coaches that one of his biggest attributes or strengths is catching out of the backfield. And they just I don't even know if we know how good of a receiving back he is because we don't even see it. So yeah. Yeah. It's 53 catches in his KU career. He's been the starting tailback for how long? We've been all right without him. All right, boys. 3 hours. 2 more to go. Just kidding. If you guys got anything else, let me know. You guys might just have to not say anything though. So I just 1-2. Legit chance to be 1-3 a week from now. Not trying to be negative, but that is. I mean, 1-2 going to West Vaughn. We will be dogs. 1-3. Can you guys imagine saying that before the year? Rest in peace. Yes. Why can't you scheme guys open? Our receivers haven't. Our receivers haven't had a tough time getting open for years. I mean, these guys, Grimm, Arnold, and Skinner have been playing significant snaps for years. It's the fucking dork on the sideline. There was flashes. I wouldn't be this upset about non-con, but how's it going to change and how quickly? Can you change it before the West Virginia game? 7 days. We'll have the rest advantage. All right, boys. I gotta get off. Something's wrong with me, dude. I'll come on tomorrow or Sunday, and if I find out anything more about the offense and Grimes, I'll try to say as much as I can without them getting pissed at me. But you guys, I mean, come on. We haven't been this hyped for KU football in our life. And for this shit show to be going on. Come on. All righty.